Wolfpack football play-by-play on the Channel 98.9 sports stream at channel989.org. This broadcast is brought to you by the Corry Federal Credit Union, Lictus Oil Propane, Jim's Automotive, Flicks Heating and Plumbing and Air Conditioning, and Daniel's Electric, Necker's General Store, the Cornerstone Restaurant, Caflisch Pallet and Wood Services, Triple E Manufacturing, Tina Dill's Real Estate Agent, Utegg's Body Shop, Countertop Solutions, J. Edwards Insurance. And now the Corry Federal Credit Union pregame show.
I'm Josh Hosier.
I'm Brad Swanson.
And we want to welcome you into another CSP Saturday here in Sherman, New York, as the Wolfpack gets ready to take on the herd of Cassadaga Valley, Falconer, Maple Grove. That's a mouthful, Brad.
That is. It sounds a lot easier to just say the herd.
And the herd off to a slow start. They lost last week 7-6, unable to score a touchdown in that game. Meanwhile, the Wolfpack off to a 1-0 start after a nice game last week against rival Franklinville-Elkaville. We were here for that one. And what were your takeaways from that game?
I tell you, I was just very impressed with the overall performance of the Wolfpack. In particular, the sophomore sensation running back, Sawyer Whitney, who racked up over 200 yards. And am I correct that he ran the ball 38 times?
38 times, 208 yards, 3 touchdowns, and I think he had a reception as well.
Wow.
So Sawyer had a heck of a game. He was honored as a Connolly Cup nominee, so he'll be nominated for that award at the end of the year for best individual game performance.
Nice.
So they pick, I think it's 8 players a week for that, so a pretty nice recommend. Sophomores don't really get an opportunity to be on that list very often, so kind of a significant thing there.
Right, and you think about 200 yards rushing. A lot of kids never achieve that in one game, and it's like a career game for some. But I think Sawyer Whitney has a few more of those in his capability, and especially only being a sophomore.
Yeah, and I think the Wolfpack were really happy with the offensive performance on Saturday. Talking to some of the coaching staff, they think there's a lot more tricks in their bag, so they're excited to show off some of the things that they still can do that they haven't shown anybody yet, but they're very proud of the work that they put in. Conversation about this team here today, Cassadaga Valley, Falconer, Maple Grove, they have a coach who has been there and been to the state stage multiple times in Kurt Fisher. And, he's always going to put a strong team on the field. And that's what, the coaching staff has echoed that all week, is regardless of what their record is or how they didn't score a touchdown last week or any of those things, he's a heck of a coach. They're probably going to be a pretty good football team.
Right. And, it was nice to see the Pack give their longtime coach but first-year head coach, Dave Bodemer, his first victory last week. And Coach Bodemer did what you pretty much said last week that you thought, and you just mentioned it again, and that's kept the offense kind of vanilla, if you will, for the first game of the season. Didn't show his hand a whole lot. There was a ton of running, obviously, and even the quarterback, Carson White, ran the ball quite a bit. There weren't that many passes attempted.
Yeah, and I think, in watching practice, I know Carson can throw the football. I've seen him throw it, so I don't think there's a concern about that. They're definitely going to get to it in their offense when they're ready to get to it. They weren't really in a situation last week where they had to throw the ball either. So, it's different when you're forced to. You're down a few scores and you got to go down the field. And when you're pretty much controlling the tempo all day, you can do what you want.
Right. There were a few things that we noticed and we allotted to last week as far as things that needed cleaned up just a little. But the first game of the year, you can expect that.
Yeah, and I think all in all, though, being 1-0 in Class C, heading into the second game against a team that, I would say that they have a good chance to win today. I'm not going to predict a score or anything like that, but I think the Wolfpack are certainly probably the favorites in this game today. So they're in a position to potentially go 2-0 in a very tough C South and join the likes of Chautauqua Lake and Salamanca, as well as Southwestern Frewsburg, and be those 4 2-0 teams that are really standing out in that group and really going to be the 4 that decide who's going to the playoffs.
Right.
Getting ready for starting lineups to be announced here in Sherman. And in the meantime, let's go quickly and talk about my conversation with Coach this week. I didn't get a chance to record my Coach's Corner, but we're going to play the intro, and then you and I will talk about what Coach and I had to talk about.
Okay.
Coach's Corner on the Channel 98.9 Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream is brought to you by Countertop Solutions and Climber. High T Fencing Systems at high-t-fenceinc.com. The Dutch Village Restaurant in Clymer, dutchvillage.net. Cornerstone Restaurant at 104 East Main Street in Sherman. First Place Auto Glass at 1794 Foote Avenue in Jamestown. 716-450-0847. Troyer's Greenhouse and Deer Processing in Panama. TroyersGreenhouse.com. Cabi Farms in Clymer. 716-355-6458. Rock Solid General Contracting. The right choice on so many levels. Phone 716-499-2406. And by Lictus Oil and Propane and the Corry Federal Credit Union.
And we want to thank Coach Dave Bodemer for making time for us each and every week. And he and I had a hard time connecting to actually get an interview recorded this week, as I said. But, he and I did have some time to talk a little bit. And what we did get to was this. He thinks that the Wolfpack, in order to win today, is going to have to do what they do well, and that's run the ball, block very well, and play excellent defense, which is what we saw last week. I think we kind of already touched on that in the open, but, the defense is something that I think could easily be overlooked from last week's game. They really performed.
Yeah, I thought so too. There was a couple of big plays, and then like a penalty here or there kind of helped, But as far as an overall performance, I thought the defense shined. They just didn't give up much at all. There were hardly any runs of over even 5 yards in that game. So just a super job. Guys in the right place at the right time. And you could see the communication, Josh, between the defensive players.
The other thing that Coach Bodemer mentioned is, everybody said that this team lost a lot of speed last year, losing all the guys that they lost, those 21 seniors, including probably 4 of the best players, in this program's history. But we saw quite a bit of speed last week, and he said there's a lot more speed on this team than people think.
Right, and it's so funny how winning just continues to breed winning. And these guys are part of a program. When they came into the program, they were starting to be very good, and now they're right there.
We're going to send you a quick word from our sponsor. Well, they do the pledge here in Sherman.
Wolfpack football on the Channel 98.9 Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream is provided in part by Countertop Solutions, a proud supporter of Wolfpack athletics. Countertop Solutions wishes the Wolfpack luck in their pursuit of excellence on the field.
Well, that's going to do it for our pregame show today. Quick one.
Yes.
Got the coach's corner in real fast there, and now we're going to have just about time to get to the action here. Going to have the coin toss here momentarily at center field. And, it's interesting. It's kind of a overcasty day. Mm-hmm. Not exactly, the bright sun we saw last week, but I think its temperature's actually a little bit higher.
Yeah, it's actually right around 70, 72 degrees. Nice little breeze blowing. We're in a perfect spot. And we'd like to thank all of our sponsors. We have plenty of them. And you can always join in as a sponsor if you'd like to and call the radio station, Channel 98.9, and let them know that you'd like to be a sponsor for Wolfpack football.
Yeah, we want you to join us, be part of this. It's a great experience, and I think we do a good job of taking care of our sponsors. I think we talk about them a lot and we thank them a lot, but there's another piece to this, and this is these kids, right? And these sponsors are making it possible for us to share all this great tape for these kids, all these great highlights and moments for these kids, and how many Wolfpack members have gone off to play college football now, and it's all thanks to those sponsors.
Right, and it's great to get feedback from our listeners too, Josh. We had a couple of them. One was one of our fathers who is deployed, and I believe that I'm trying to remember, was it Mr. Chambers maybe that sent us he sent an email to Brian, our station manager and owner, and thanked us.
Take a look and find that.
And then also today we had a gentleman come up, and he said that they were at their last camping outing last weekend, and they were in a place that's very difficult to get cell service or anything. And he said we came in loud and clear and very pleased to be able to take in the game. And a lot of his fellow campers came and joined in with him and watched it. So that's great to get positive feedback. And if you like what we're doing, please go online and actually you can go on Channel 98.9 Facebook page and throw in some comments.
Yeah, absolutely. We're very responsive to those comments, try to address them as much as we can. May not answer your message on YouTube while we're live. We have a cameraman. He's not going to answer your messages. He's 11. But, in the meantime, we will get back to you after the game and definitely respond to any requests or anything that we hear. And we're always willing to make some changes to this broadcast. So if there's something you want to see, something you've seen on a national broadcast, you think it'd be a cool piece to involve, I'm more than happy to try to incorporate it.
Right. Here we go.
Wolfpack ready to get things started, man. They came flying out there ready to get this thing started, and they're going to kick off to start this game to the Herd. And as I said, the Herd 0-1, a loss last week. They lost 7-6, and the Wolfpack 1-0 after their big win last week over their rival Franklinville-Ellicottville. Deep for the Herd to return the kick. Number 7, Brody Hawkins. Dylan Newman, the other deep man. Wolfpack ready to get this thing started. Week 2 here in Sherman is underway. Kick, a short one, going to bounce to the 30. Be fielded there, and the ball pops out. Wolfpack right there. That's a loose ball on the bottom of that pile. And both teams say they have it. We'll see who comes up with it. It is a Herd football, but a dangerous start for the Herd there.
Right. I kind of like that idea of kicking that type of a kick, too, just to see if everybody's on the same page and how alert everybody is.
When they caught their down blocker there without his hands quite ready for that football, I think, he tried to cover a ball that bounced in front of him and just completely missed there. So Wolfpack defense that was dominant last week taking the field now. 77 there for the Herd. It's Connor Brantley. He's a junior. That guy's got to be about 6'5", 300 pounds, I think. He's a big guy.
That's a big guy out there.
3 receivers in motion for the Herd from right to left. They'll snap it and pitch it to that left side with all those blockers out in front. Going to have some room to run. Gets forward. Ball comes out. Wolfpack has it. Wow, what a string of events right there. Early fumble and the Wolfpack take over.
I didn't catch who made that initial hit, but he was low, and that was the key to that right there. Hit him low and pop that ball loose.
Looked to me like it was Brian Gomez over there in the 7, and I think Brian getting a lot of high fives on the way off the field tells me it was, in fact, him.
Right. He played a great game last week.
Yeah, he's definitely stepped up and taken over that role that Colin Ryan left behind as the star linebacker here, as Gomez has transitioned into that guy. And now the Wolfpack offense going to get to start on the Herd side of the field here as they'll begin their drive at the 37-yard line. White in the shotgun. There's the snap. He'll hand it off to Whitney. Whitney going to get met in the backfield and brought down for a loss.
Yeah, unfortunately, one of his teammates got pushed backwards right into the hole that Whitney was going to try to get through. That didn't work very well.
We didn't see a lot of that last week. I don't think Whitney had a single run for a loss last week. All right, White in the shotgun now with 2nd and 13. He's got 3 wide to his right. There's the snap. He'll pitch it to Whitney to the right. Whitney with running room. He's going to have a first down and more. And how about that? That makes up for the loss on the previous play. Sawyer Whitney goes for 16.
That was a nice run there. Good blocking. He got to the outside. Once he achieves the outside, he is a very quick kid.
And I think we talked last week, in the weight room, Sawyer's one of the strongest guys with his lower body, and that leads to that speed and that burst he has on the outside. All right, first down for the Wolfpack now at the 30-yard line. White in the shotgun. 2 wide receivers to either side. He'll drop back to pass. Fires, has a man over the middle, completes it to Johnny Abers. Short gain on the play. We're going to call it 5 or 6.
I like that play call. Just keep plugging away, keep them guessing.
That's the same as a short run, right? I mean, you get that little dump-off pass. It doesn't really accomplish much downfield, but it keeps the ball moving, and it gives your quarterback some confidence.
Exactly.
White in the shotgun again, 3 wide to the right. Now they'll bring 1 across the formation to make it 2 receivers on both sides. There's the handoff to Whitney to the left. With Liebacher in front, they try to rip the ball out, but he holds on to it. Going to be a very short gain, if not a loss on the play for Whitney, but a good job holding on to the football.
Yeah, I tell you, and there again, there's that leg strength you were talking about. He had 4 guys on him, and he stayed on his feet.
Wolfpack facing a 3rd and 4 now at the 24-yard line. White again in the shotgun, 3 wide to the right. Whitney to his right side. Waiting for the snap now. There it is. He'll drop back to pass. A wide receiver screen. It's caught over there. And off to the races goes Gavin Burchanowski. He has the first down and more. He's out of bounds after about a 15-yard gain, down to about the 10-yard line.
Gavin had a nice game last week as well. He had a couple catches, and he's a fun kid to watch with the ball.
Burchanowski has really come into his own this year. Really great baseball player, and now showing he can be an excellent receiver, stepping up in that slot role. And now the Wolfpack offense has 1st and goal at the 10. White again in the shotgun. This time Whitney to his left. A receiver crosses the formation to the left side. White going to follow Whitney to that left side, but whistles ruin this play as there's a flag. False start on the offense. That's a tough break to kind of kill the drive momentum there. Hopefully they can rebound from that.
Right. Yeah, you got things going the right way. You don't want to make little mistakes like that.
Yeah, so far this game, I mean, you couldn't, other than the penalty, you couldn't really ask for a better start if you're the Wolfpack. Force a fumble and then just start marching right down the field. So we'll see what happens now. They quickly break the huddle. 2 wide to either side. Whitney to White's left. White awaits the snap. They're going to move one receiver across the formation right to left. There's the snap. White following Whitney across the formation. All the way to the left. He fires towards the end zone and throws it out of bounds. Nothing there for White downfield. All 3 receivers covered on that side of the field.
Good decision right there. Just get rid of the ball.
He made sure he got past the hash marks and waited till the last minute and then chucked it out of bounds. Looks like a wily senior there, doesn't he?
Yes.
And for a guy that didn't get a lot of playing time prior to this, that's exactly what you want to see. 2nd and 15 for the Wolfpack. White again in the shotgun. 2 running backs now in the backfield with him. More of a heavy set here for the Wolfpack. The give to Sawyer Whitney to the right side. He has a blocker out in front. He does get to the edge, but he meets a lot of the herd members there. I think he's going to get about 7 on the play. That was Becknerink, not Whitney. So I don't think Blake got a carry last week.
I don't remember.
Yeah, he plays wide receiver as well, so Blake's not always in the backfield, but we know he ran the ball a lot in JV, so not surprising to see him get a carry there. White under center now for the first time today. 3rd and goal for the Wolfpack. There's the snap. The give to Whitney. Whitney's going to get met in the hole and brought down after a very short gain. I think he maybe gained a yard on the play. So now 4th and goal at the 8-yard line. Scoreboard says 9, but it looks like the 8 to me. Tough spot for the Wolfpack offense.
4th and goal from the 7-yard line.
Yeah, let's see what the play call is here.
White
interesting.
White again out there in the shotgun. This time no running backs in the backfield. 3 wide to the left, 2 to the right. He looks to the left. He fires. He has a man. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Wolfpack. Gavin Burchanowski comes down with a touchdown catch.
That was a great route and a perfect pass right there, Josh. Just couldn't have been better.
He had his man all the way, hit him right in the numbers. Burchanowski did take contact up in the air, but came down with the ball. And White's dead on there, and the Wolfpack get on the board first, 6-0. Here comes the extra point attempt from Michael Spiesman. Not Michael Spiesman, I'm sorry. Michael Horton. And Horton's kick is kind of deflected there off to the right side. So 6-0 Wolfpack. We'll take a quick word from our sponsor here on the 98.9 Sports Stream.
The Corry Federal Credit Union is the platinum sponsor of CSP Wolfpack football play-by-play coverage on the Channel 98.9 Sports Stream. The Corry Federal Credit Union would like to wish the Wolfpack the best of luck this season. The Corry Federal Credit Union has been serving the community since 1958. They offer a wide range of financial and banking services for you and your business. The Corry Federal Credit Union is located at 728 Worth Street in Corry, 56 North Main Street in Union City, 315 Main Street in Spartansburg, and online at corryfcu.org. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks the Corry Federal Credit Union, a not-for-profit organization, for their support of CSP Wolfpack football play-by-play.
CSP Wolfpack coverage on the Channel 98.9 Sports Stream is provided in part by Steve Daniels Electric and Flicks Heating, Plumbing, and Air Conditioning, located at 147 East Main Street, Corry, PA. They offer residential and light commercial new services, as well as electrical repairs, well pumps, and water conditioning systems. Phone 814-665-6034. Online at flicksheatingplumbingandac.com. We thank Steve Daniels Electric and Flicks Heating and Plumbing for their support of Wolfpack football coverage.
And welcome back in. Wolfpack kickoff. Horton's kick in the air. This one a deeper kick than the first one. Going to be fielded back at the 5-yard line, up to the 10, the 15, and the 20. Now the Wolfpack is there, and they'll drag him down, but a really nice return up to the 45-yard line. That's where the Herd will start their offense.
That was a nice return. He just went straight down the middle of the field, as you said.
Good blocking there from the Herd's up backs.
By number 75, Daniel Redlecki. First and 10, the Herd from their own 45-yard line.
And the Wolfpack defense going to have to defend the shorter field here as the Herd going to start at the 45, their own 45. Herd going to have the slow snap reeled in by the quarterback. He'll hand it off up the middle and tackled right at the line of scrimmage is number 25. That's Braden McCarthy. So their quarterback is Max Parmenter. He's a senior, and he's been the quarterback here with the Herd for, this is his third year as a quarterback. Max did not start his sophomore year the whole season. I think he might have got a starter or two. But last year was kind of their guy, and then this year is their guy, right? So Max has got an offense that can be effective at times, even though they didn't score week one. Grant Zam over here on the side nearest to us is one of their favorite targets at receiver. There's the snap, a handoff to the right side. And not going to get past the Wolfpack there. Blake Beckerink sniffed that one out and shut down Taylor Jones on the run.
Yeah, Beckerink did a nice job of just stringing that out and pushing him out of bounds.
And you guys will see Taylor Jones in the 5 there for the Herd. He's wearing one of those safer caps on top of his helmet. Starting to see more and more of that at the high school level now, as we saw a lot of it at the college level last year.
Mm-hmm.
So 3rd and 5 now for the Herd at midfield. The Wolfpack defense going to try to make a big stop here and get the ball back with a 6-0 lead. Herd break the huddle. They'll come out with 3 running backs. Parmenter in a shotgun. He's going to throw it. Completed and hit in the backfield and brought down is Taylor Jones. Initially on the stop for the Wolfpack was Michael Horton. And then he got backed up there by Troy Chambers.
So the gentleman that texted us, or emailed Brian rather, was Adam Hambone. He's Colton Hamilton's father.
Okay. Yeah, so Colton Hamilton's father. We want to shout him out. I'm sure he's listening today as well. Adam, thank you for listening to us overseas, and thank you for serving our country. We really appreciate what you're doing for us, and we're happy to be able to provide this for you. Heard about to punt it away to the Wolfpack. There's the punt in the air. A nice punt. Going to be fielded at about the 22-yard line. Taking off is Burchanowski. He's up to the 30, the 35. He's got running room up to the 40, and he's brought down at about the 41-yard line there. And Burchanowski, nice little burst of speed.
He made a nice little move. He just kind of sidestepped the first guy that was there, and that enabled him to get downfield.
So the Wolfpack will start at their own 41. 6.5 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. 6-0 CSP. And off to the start that they kind of hoped for here. Their defense has stood up, made some big plays. I think they gave up 1 first down on that drive, and otherwise have given up very little. Trips left. White in the shotgun with Whitney to his left. He'll pitch it to Whitney. Whitney fumbles the pitch, dives on the ball, and he actually dives forward on the ball for a gain of about 2.
Good job by Whitney of just keeping his eyes on that football.
And that pitch did come in really high, right underneath his face mask, like right in his chin. And I think maybe that's why he didn't catch it on the initial flip. No harm, no foul. They're only going to give him a half a yard. Not a good spot from the officials there. White in the shotgun. Now Whitney to his right as they flip the formation. They'll throw the wide receiver screen to that right side. Caught there by Johnny Abers. He's going to get the first down and more. Gain of about 13 for Abers and a Wolfpack first down.
Very nice pass, and I tell you, the key to that pass was kind of a sidearm sling by our quarterback, White. He just threw it like a sidearm pass because a defender came in and was trying to put his hand up to block it.
It's something that the Wolfpack has done very well for years, is this wide receiver screen. A lot of teams have gotten away from it because it's easy. It's a pick six if you screw it up. So still playing that really, really well. There's another wide receiver screen. This one to Gavin Burchanowski. He's got space, and another nice play there. Going to be a gain of about 10 for Burchanowski.
Well, one thing I noticed last week and today so far is White's passes are low. He keeps it low to where either his guy's going to catch it or no one else is.
And it's a gain of 11 for Burchanowski, a Wolfpack first down. 2 straight first downs on wide receiver screens from Carson White. Clock continues to run here in the first quarter, 5:45 to play. White in the shotgun, he has 3 wide to the right, and Whitney to his right side. There's the snap, the pitch to Whitney. He gets the ball. He's got a defender right on top of him. He shakes that. He stepped outside before taking his run into the backfield, so Abers couldn't get to him.
Just shot the gap, basically, yep.
All right, 2nd and 13 now for the Pack. White again in the shotgun, 3 wide to the left, 1 to the right. There's the snap. He'll pitch it to Whitney to the left. Whitney has running room now. He's going to get around the corner, and Whitney going to get met after a gain of about 10 on the play.
Good run right there. Good job of blocking out front, too.
And that time, they got a really nice comeback block on the edge, and I think it was Brian Gomez who was the wide receiver out there and just came back across the formation and made a really nice, used to call that a crackback block, but those are illegal now, so it's a comeback block, and you have to make sure they see you before you hit them. Wolfpack break the huddle, 1st and 10 at the 20. Back in the red zone again. White again in the shotgun, 3 wide to the right. Waiting for the snap now. They'll move 1 receiver across the formation. Whitney will follow him to the left side. Nice running room there for Sawyer Whitney. Going to be a gain of 4 or 5 on the play. Sawyer Whitney just keeps on cranking, right?
He does.
The choo-choo train's all revved up and heading down the tracks.
Keeps those piston legs there moving.
Call it a gain of 3 for Sawyer Whitney. 2nd and 7 for the Wolfpack.
2nd and 7.
And they'll break the huddle. Actually huddling today. They didn't huddle very much last Saturday, so a little bit slower tempo today. They break the huddle. White again in the shotgun. Whitney to his left, 3 wide to his right. The closest receiver being Gomez in the slot. Gomez going to cross the formation now. He'll be a lead blocker for Whitney on the right side. Whitney, though, gets met right at the line and brought down. And those big defensive linemen, including Connor Brentley, number 77 for the Herd, sniffed that one out.
Number 71, Tanner Olmstead.
Good mix-up of plays so far, I think.
Wolfpack offense kind of keeping it interesting. No deep shots yet or anything like that, but definitely showing that they can throw the ball and run the ball. Big 3rd and 7 here in the red zone now for the Wolfpack. White going to be all by himself in the backfield as they're 3 wide to the right, 2 to the left. That empty set. There's the snap. He looks to his right. He fires, has a man. Touchdown, Wolfpack.
That was a nice slant and perfect pass by Carson White.
And still looking to see who that receiver was.
Just a sophomore, reception, number 80, Mason
Looks like it was Mason Groders, the sophomore, that made the touchdown catch. And Mason, somebody we talked about last week, playing defensive end and tight end for the Pack, making a big impact as a sophomore.
Yeah, that was just a nice route. And like I said, Carson White threaded the needle.
Here's the snap, the kick up from Michael Horton, and again it gets deflected off to the right side. Tough kicking day for Horton. He had a really good kicking day last week, but irregardless, the Wolfpack have scored twice, and they're up 12-0 here in the first quarter. Quick word from our sponsor here on the 98.9 Sports Stream.
CSP Wolfpack football coverage on the Channel 98.9 Sports Stream is powered by Lictus Oil and Propane and Climber. Family-owned, Lictus Oil and Propane continues to supply liquids and fluids for agriculture, industry, and homeowners. Heating oil and propane services and off-and-on diesel fuel services are also offered. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks Lictus Oil and Propane for being a major sponsor of CSP Sports.
CSP Wolfpack football coverage is brought to you on the Channel 98.9 Sports Stream by Jim's Automotive, located at 13250 Route 6 in Corry. Phone 814-664-9602. Offering a full line of auto parts, propane filling, and more. Jim's Automotive wants to wish the best of luck to the Wolfpack this season.
And that Wolfpack enjoying that luck so far here in Week 2. They lead 12-0 with 3:18 to play here in the first quarter. I'm Josh Hosier.
I'm Brad Swanson.
And we are happy to bring you Wolfpack football here on the 98.9 Sports Stream. And the Wolfpack prepared to kick it away to the Herd now as Michael Horton is all set to go. His boot going to be in the air. And that one going to be an onside kick attempt, or it came off his foot wrong. I'm not sure which.
That was a line drive, and it actually hit one of the up men right in the... He turned just in time, and it hit him in the shoulder.
Yeah, offensive lineman John Kent, the one who was, in a way, lucky enough to field that one and not get absolutely ran over there. So he'll reel that one in, and Falconer, Cassadaga Valley, Maple Grove will take over at the 45-yard line. Wolfpack defense, again, going to give up a midfield starting position to their opponents, but so far that hasn't been a problem in this one. 3:17 to play in the first, 12-0 CSP. Max Parmenter trying to get his offense ready to go. He has 3 running backs behind him. Look at this old style offense here. Power football set up from the herd. They'll give it off to their tailback, number 5, Taylor Jones, and a pack of wolves bring them down after a gain of 4.
That was a nice job by the defense right there. Stacked them up. They stood them up first, and then they stacked them up.
And, I see a lot of this formation at the modified level, sometimes at the JV level. It's like old school power eye football, 2 tight ends, 3 running backs, and just pound the rock.
We saw it last night with Corry and Gerard. They had a tailback fullback. And you don't see fullbacks in high school football in northwestern Pennsylvania very much anymore.
Well, it's good for 4 yards there. We'll see what they do here. 2nd and 6 for the herd. It looks like the same formation going to be on the field. They do split the 1 tight end on the near side out. And Parmenter calls him across the formation. And timeout. So that would have been a illegal procedure if that play would have actually been snapped, because they had both tight ends on the same side. So one was covered by the other. So it would have been illegal formation. That's why their coaches called a timeout there.
Right. So a good timeout was called right there.
Interesting to see that. I mean, that's a high school team trying out some new formations, trying to figure some different things out. And, you don't see that at the college level or the pro level very often, although we do see it at the pro level once in a while. You'll see the illegal formation penalties. So 12-0 here, 2:19 to play in the first. What's your thoughts so far on this one?
Well, it looks like the Pack came out and with a good game plan so far, and they're executing things just fine on offense, and that defense is stout like they were last week.
I agree. I would interested to see, as this game goes on, the Wolfpack defense keep the intensity up. And then do we see a little bit more of White testing out, what can he do if they start getting a comfortable lead here? Or do we see them go with the old faithful and just, give the rock to Sawyer Whitney over and over and over?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I was wondering if Coach Bodemer will let Carson just cut one loose on like a 1st or 2nd down.
Fakes the handoff, rolls out to the left side, intercepted. Wow, what a play that was. And he's off to the races. It's Cameron Eining all the way. Pick 6 for Eining. A 50-yard pick 6. Oh, wow. Cameron Eining just changed the whole complexity of this thing. Wow, he got up there too. Wasn't that thing? That was 6.5 feet in the air. He went right up and got it and then took it to the house.
Great play right there. That's athleticism right there, Josh.
Cameron Eining showing off the skill and ability he has. That's the first pick 6 I think I've gotten to call for the Wolfpack since early last season. So that's a fun one. 18-0 CSP now.
They're going to go for 2 or are they going to kick it again?
Looks like they're going to go for 2 here. I think Horton had 2 that got partially blocked and shanked. They're going to try and make up the difference here with a 2-point conversion. White in the shotgun. He's alone in the backfield. 3 wide to the left, 2 to the right. He takes his time. Now he'll get the snap. He looks, he throws, and a little confusion, I think, on the route there as Burchanowski was coming towards him, but another receiver was in his way, and he wasn't able to make the reception. 18-0. Quick start for the Pack. We'll be right back after this word from our sponsors.
Wolfpack football on the Channel 98.9 Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream is provided in part by Necker's Company General Store, providing Clymer with groceries, apparel, gift items, and so much more for over 100 years. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks Necker's Company General Store for their support. Support for Wolfpack football on the Channel 98.9 Sports Stream is provided by Moshers Carpeting at 8631 East Main Street in Clymer. Moshers has carpeting and all types of flooring, serving the area for over 27 years. Online at mosherscarpeting.com.
And welcome back into Wolfpack football, 18-0. Horton getting ready to kick it off. 2 minutes still remaining here in the first quarter.
Number 7, Brody Hawkins to return for the herd.
Waiting for that kick to go in the air, and Horton's kick going to be a bouncer again. This one's going to get past the initial downman, but they're going to grab it and come forward now. And a nice little return there after everything kind of broke down. I believe the runner is an offensive lineman. Number 24 was the guy with the football. I thought it was an offensive lineman. That's Patrick Braley, the junior running back.
Yeah, he looked pretty quick.
2 minutes remain.
Got a nice return.
Another short field for the herd as they'll start at their own 41. They've started every drive at the 40 or better and have only been able to get 1 first down so far in this game. 2 turnovers for the herd. Wolfpack.
The last one really hurt them.
Wolfpack's turned that all into points. 18-0. Great start for the Pack. We'll see if their defense can keep it going. Parmenter in the shotgun. Gets the snap. He's going to look to throw. He fires, and that one's going to be dropped by Taylor Jones.
Pass falls incomplete. Intended for number 5, Taylor Jones. 2nd and 10.
Almost seems as though the Pack has attempted more passes than runs today.
And I want to give a shout out to a request I just got from Chris Barmore for the score. Chris, it's 18-0 CSP, and we want to say best of luck to your son Cam tonight as he plays for Arizona in the primetime spot out there on the West Coast.
Nice.
Wolfpack alumni playing for the Wildcats, and we're excited to see what he can do for them. Back here in Sherman, 2nd and 10. Parmenter breaks the huddle. And defensive audible there at the last minute. A handoff up the middle to Jones. He'll go nowhere as the defensive line gobbles it up, and guess what? It's Gomez once again. Brian Gomez has really turned into Colin Ryan. It's incredible. You know, Colin Ryan last year, 130 tackles. I mean, he was everywhere, and Gomez is quickly becoming that guy this year for the Wolfpack.
Yeah, he had a bunch of tackles last week, and here he is piling them up again today.
Gomez joined in that linebacker role by Toby Watson. He plays center on the offensive side of the ball. Toby only a junior, and a guy who can make a big impact as well. Keep an eye on that 51 out there for the Pack. 3rd and 7 for the Herd. Parmenter again in the shotgun. 3 running backs in the backfield. The give to Jones. They try a reverse and going to get some running room there. And it's going to be very close to a first down. It looks like it will be a first down for number 15, Jackson Kraft. So the reverse, a little trickery for the Herd.
Yeah, he had a nice lane there, and he took advantage of it. He's a pretty quick kid.
Wolfpack going to make a few substitutions here to I think a run stop package, if I had to guess, as they bring talent persons on the field. 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line of the Wolfpack. 5 down linemen on the defensive side. I think that's a commitment to stop the run. Going to have a throw attempt from Parmenter. He completes the pass and immediately gets gobbled up by Burchanowski, but enough for a first down. Grant Zam on the catch, and he's the one I told you about earlier, one of their favorite targets in the pass game.
Yeah, that was a nice route right there and a good pass. Burchanowski, he's a wrestler, isn't he?
He is a wrestler.
I could tell by the tackle.
And Gavin is, I believe, a state qualifier. I could be wrong about that. Very close to a state qualifier if he was not. Very good wrestler.
Yeah, the tackle was textbook 2-leg takedown.
1st and 10 for the Herd at the 29-yard line. And the Wolfpack selling out to stop the run on that last play. Had 5 down linemen. They'll go back to 4 now. Back to a 4-3 style defense. There's the snap, a handoff to the left side, and brought down after a gain of about 4 or 5. And there is Toby Watson on the tackle. And I just talked about him a minute ago. Toby's going to start putting his name in there quite a bit. You're going to start hearing that name called. And Toby, another one of the Wolfpack members who's got the history behind him. His brother John was a dominant part of this team for 4 years. So he's got big shoes to fill. Right. John, another big-time wrestler from CSP and from, I guess, the Chautauqua Lake program, and did some great things in that program. I think he's wrestling at Gannon now.
Nice.
We're going to take a quick word from our sponsor. Come back for some more Wolfpack football. The Pack leads 18-0 at the end of the first quarter.
Support for CSP Wolfpack football coverage is provided in part by Tina Dills, ERA Team VP, licensed real estate agent, serving the Wolfpack listening area and all of Chautauqua County with real estate services for buyers, sellers, vacation rentals, and all relocation needs. For more information on how to get your move going, Tina can be reached at 716-397-7790. Tina Dills and the ERA Team VP agents wish the Wolfpack the best of luck.
Support for Wolfpack football on the Channel 98.9 Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream is provided in part by Utegg's Body Shop in Corry, offering collision repair and refinishing along with frame straightening services. 699 East Smith Street in Corry or at uteggsbodyshop.com. Phone 814-663-2562. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks Utegg's Body Shop for their support.
And welcome back into Sherman, New York here for CSP Wolfpack football on the 98.9 Sports Stream. It's 18-0 CSP after 1. and the Wolfpack has looked pretty stout. But as we say that, the Herd have their best drive of the game so far. 2nd and 5 at the Wolfpack 25 as they're trying to punch their way into the red zone here. We'll see what they can do here on 2nd down.
Where did their drive start? It was the 41?
Their own 41-yard line. So this is their best drive of the game. They only had one first down prior to this. So they're actually moving the ball pretty well here. A lot of misdirections, reverses, things like that. Now they're going to go back to power football. Parmenter gives it to Jones, and he's hit in the hole and brought down. Going to be a very short gain. On the tackle for the Wolfpack is number 5, Cameron Eining, who had that pick 6 earlier.
Yeah, and I thought Cam played a nice defensive game last week, for the Pack.
3rd and 3.
So 3rd and 3 now for the Herd. And yeah, Cam Eining, like I said last week, if it wasn't for Sawyer Whitney, I probably would have picked him as player of the game. I thought he was excellent for the whole game. But it was hard to pick against Sawyer Whitney, as good of a game as he had. And right now, I'd say Eining has to be an early favorite after that pick 6.
Yes.
All right. Whistle from the near side judge, and everyone's pointing at each other. I think there's an equipment issue for number 25 for the Herd. That is Braden McCarthy. He comes off the field. I think maybe blood could be the issue there, or his knee pads. They're cracking down on knee pads this year in Section 6, so that might have been what it is. They might have been up too high. He's replaced by number 7, Brody Hawkins, and the play will continue now. 3rd and 3. Parmenter in the shotgun. He has Patrick Braley to his right. They bring Jones across the formation. They'll give it to Jones. He heads forward and does plunge forward. I'm not sure if he got enough for the first down or not. It's going to be very close. And the chain gang indicating it is now 4th and less than a yard. Well, never mind. It's first down. He did indicate 4th down. He put it up on the yard marker. But then the official said, no, this is enough. We're not going to measure it. We're just going to keep on playing.
So one ref had a left-footed spot, the other a right-footed spot.
Gotta love it.
1st and 10.
The Herd in the huddle, about to break that huddle and come back. Their first red zone visit of the game as they're at the 19-yard line now. Parmenter going to be in the shotgun now with 2 wide to his right. There's the snap. Little misdirection again. They'll give to number 15, Jackson Kraft, forward to the right side. He's brought down after a short gain. And a host of Wolves there. I think Toby Watson did lead the way on that one.
3-yard gain on the play. 2nd and 7.
So, Wolfpack D still trying to hold up here, keep this team out of the end zone. Remember, the Herd yet to score a touchdown this season, and I'm not trying to make a monkey on their back or anything like that, but it's tough to get that first one when you start getting further and further into the season and don't have one yet.
Yes, for sure.
So 2nd and 7, 10 minutes to play here in the second quarter, 18-0 CSP. Here comes that power offense again. Parmenter going to be under center with 3 running backs behind him. There's the snap, the give up the middle to Jones. He's hitting the hole, and he does go forward, but not going to be a huge gain. Gain of 2 or 3 for Jones. And again, Toby Watson. So I think that's 4 tackles for him already in this game.
Yeah, he's definitely got a nose for the football.
Wolfpack going to change up the defense and put in what looks like a nickel defense as they pull out one of their linebackers and one of their defensive linemen, go with a little bit faster set of players. Big 3rd down for the Herd here as they've got to keep this thing going. Otherwise, this thing could get out of hand real fast for them. Parmenter under center, 3 backs behind him. Jones the tailback. There's the snap. They give to Jones on the right side. He gets to the hole, and he did dance his way forward, and I believe it's going to be enough for a Herd first down. Jones is kind of an elusive little back. He's not a very tall guy, and he moves through the hole at nice side-to-side lateral speed.
Right. He's quick.
So it is 1st and goal. Going to be at about the 6-yard line. And Parmenter comes back to his huddle to tell the team the plan. They look to get their first touchdown of the season here as they've pushed the Wolfpack all the way back down inside the 6-yard line. Parmenter under center again, 3 backs behind him. The snap, the give to Jones on the right side. The Wolfpack, they sniffed that one out a little better this time, and they're going to push the runner back away from the goal line. Again, a 1, I believe, for Jones on that one.
Tackled by a pack of Wolves.
And Taylor Jones getting a lot of carries here for the Herd. I think he's got to be in excess of 15 carries already in this game.
Yeah, he's definitely their workhorse.
8:25 to play here in the first half, 18-0 CSP. But the Herd knocking on the door here at the 6-yard line. They break the huddle. Parmenter again going to go under center. Oh, never mind. He's in the shotgun. And here's the snap. He gives it to the left side. Tackled in the backfield is Jackson Kraft. And nice play there by Mason Moore for the Wolfpack. Oh, check that. Matthew Redlecki on the tackle. The 8 and the 0 look a lot alike.
Yeah, it's tough to tell. That was a very nice tackle. He just shot through there. And
Redlecki from that defensive tackle position, I think he just sidestepped the guard and blew that play up. So nice job by him. Down to 7:30 to play now in the first half. 3rd and goal for the Herd at the 6. Parmenter in the shotgun. Here's the snap. Fakes the reverse. He'll roll to his right. He's going to have pressure right in his face, but he completes the pass for a touchdown. Grant Zam, the receiver on the play, and the Herd have their first touchdown of the season.
that was quite a nice sustained drive by the Herd. So it covered 59 yards. A good drive, and congratulations for their first touchdown of the year, but let's hope that that's all they get today.
Yeah, and I think that time from the Herd, that whole drive, you saw a lot of different formations, a lot of different play sets. Nothing really that was too predictable. So very different look than the first couple possessions that they had in the first quarter.
For sure.
18-6 now your score. They're going to go for 2 here. Parmenter breaks the huddle. He'll go under center with 3 backs behind him. Jones, the tailback. There's the snap. He'll throw it to the right side, and it's incomplete, intended for Zam again. And the score now 18-6 with 7:25 to play in the half. Quick word from our sponsors here on the 98.9 Sports Stream.
The Corry Federal Credit Union is the platinum sponsor of CSP Wolfpack football play-by-play coverage on the Channel 98.9 Sports Stream. The Corry Federal Credit Union would like to wish the Wolfpack the best of luck this season. The Corry Federal Credit Union has been serving the community since 1958. They offer a wide range of financial and banking services for you and your business. The Corry Federal Credit Union is located at 728 Worth Street in Corry, 56 North Main Street in Union City, 315 Main Street in Spartanburg, and online at corryfcu.org. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks the Corry Federal Credit Union, a not-for-profit organization, for their support of CSP Wolfpack football play-by-play.
And welcome back in here to Sherman, New York. 18-6 the score as the Wolfpack continue to show the way here. They got up 18-0, but the Herd a nice drive there to try to close the gap, and we'll see if the Wolfpack offense can keep it going as the Herd get ready to kick it off to them here in the second quarter. Kicking for the Herd will be number 45. That's Anthony Eckert. Eckert's arm in the air, and here comes the kickoff. It's going to be a short kick and bounce through the hands of number 16. That's Talon Pearson. Picked up by the pack after that, and a late hit there by number 11, and we'll see what happens after that one. I don't see any yellow laundry on the field, just some upset parents on this sideline. Tyler Anderson, that player who came in late and may have tripped. He may have tripped and fell on Blake Beckerink.
1st and 10 Wolfpack.
So the Wolfpack will start at their own 30, their worst field position of the game. And so that's an interesting thing to note, too, is they've had pretty good offensive possessions, but short fields to do it.
Right. Well, let's see what they can do here.
They break the huddle. And White going to be in the shotgun with Whitney to his right, 2 wide receivers to either side. Takes a look over at those receivers, and he's going to send one in motion. That's Pearson's. They give to him. Pearson's around the left end, and he's going to have a very short gain, maybe 1 on the play. Ran all the way across the field, but only got a yard moving in the forward direction.
Right. I see a lot more of that in high school football, that play right there, and it's kind of predictable. Unless you have great blocking, you aren't going to get a whole lot out of it.
Yeah, and I wonder if they're thinking they have just such great, straightaway speed that they're just going to get around that cornerback or something. Those guys play cornerback for a reason. They're fast, too.
Right.
Wolfpack break the huddle, 2nd and 9. White in the shotgun. There's the snap. He's going to look to his right. He'll now take off. He'll throw it short to incomplete as he intended that one for Sawyer Whitney. So he initially looked downfield to Blake Beckerink, and if he would have had another 2nd and a half, Beckerink was actually streaking free and would have been wide open 15, 20 yards downfield, but he just didn't have enough time as the pocket collapsed.
Right. That forced him to kind of force that throw to Whitney as well. Fell incomplete.
So 3rd and 8 now for the Pack. 6:38 to play here in the first half. They lead 18-6. White in the shotgun, 3 wide to the left in a trips formation. There's the snap. He'll pitch it to Whitney on that left side. Whitney turns the corner, but he gets hit almost immediately. Going to be a gain of 3 for Sawyer Whitney, but not a lot of running room over there on the left side.
Oh, he pretty much got that on his own.
So 4th and 5, I believe, is going to be 4th and 4 going to be the spot. And the Wolfpack punt team going to come on out to take the field. So the Herd not only score a touchdown, but now they get a stop on the Wolfpack. Maybe a little bit of a momentum shift here in Sherman.
Yes.
Horton back to punt. Back to return for the Herd is number 25. That's Braden McCarthy. Waiting the snap to Horton. There. Oh, and they did get a whistle there. I'm not sure if the Wolfpack got called, though, or if they got the encroachment. It was encroachment. Wow. And some inappropriate language from the Herd players there. They were pretty unhappy they gave up that first down. That's a big mistake.
That is.
And how about the hard count from the up back there, making sure that they got that offsides? That's fantastic. That's really smart football. Give it to Coach Bodemer and Coach Dennis Roberts there with the special team, making a big play for the Wolfpack. 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Now's where you make that hurt.
Trips right for Carson White. He's in the shotgun. There's the snap. He's going to pitch it to that right side. He's got Whitney. Whitney breaks 1 tackle, but the amount of time it took him to break the tackle, more Herd members get there, and going to be a short gain for Carson on that play. We'll call it 4 on the play.
Yeah, if he could have got out there just another step or two, he could have had a huge gainer, if not taken it to the house.
So 2nd and 6 now for the Pack, down to 5:30 to play here in the first half. White again in the shotgun, going to have 3 wide to his left, and Whitney to that side as well. 1 receiver off to the right. That's number 3, Blake Beckerink. There's the snap. He looks to his left. He'll fire on the wide receiver screen. He has a man with some room. That's going to be close to a first down, and I believe it's Gavin Burchanowski once again. Burchanowski's got his hands on the football almost as much as Sawyer Whitney today.
Yeah, he definitely knew where the first down marker was and worked hard to get there.
So that first down moves the Pack up into the midfield area. I think they're at the 47-yard line, maybe the 48. And of the Herd. So they're on the Herd side of the field now. All right. Here comes the snap to White. 3 wide to the right. There it is. He'll look to that right side. He's going to fire to that right side. Caught by Burchanowski down to 35, to 30, to 20. No one's going to catch him. He's going to go to the house. Gavin Burchanowski, 47-yard touchdown pass from Carson White.
That was actually tipped by one of his other receivers and went right into Burchanowski's hand.
Wow, what a play. And the Wolfpack make them pay for that 4th down mistake on that punting play where they jumped off and had an encroachment call. The Herd had them stopped. Now it's 24-6 here in Sherman.
How much does that sting if you're a Herd member?
Oh, yeah, and their coaching staff has to be frustrated with that one. That's one you coach up all week. You cannot jump on a punt. You cannot jump on a punt. And yet we see it week in and week out at every level of football. Wolfpack going to go for 2 here, up 24-6. 4:35 to play here in the first half. 2 backs in the backfield behind White, who's under center. There's the snap. He'll give it to Whitney on the left side. A little bit of running room, and he's in for the 2-point conversion. So 26-6 now, a 20-point lead here for CSP as we continue to roll through this one. 4:35 to play in the first half. Let's take another quick word from one of our sponsors here on the 98.9 Sports Stream.
CSP Wolfpack football coverage on the Channel 98.9 Sports Stream is powered by Lictus Oil and Propane and Climber. Family-owned Lictus Oil and Propane continues to supply liquids and fluids for agriculture, industry, and homeowners. Heating oil and propane services and off-and-on diesel fuel services are also offered. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks Lictus Oil and Propane for being a major sponsor of CSP Sports.
Welcome back in. 26-6 with 4:35 to play in the first half. We saw some textbook football there from CSP, a nice drive, using the passing game, using the running game, and taking advantage of the Herd's mistakes.
Yeah, that was a great effort right there by the Pack, and here we go again, another kickoff. Let's see if they can pin them down.
Michael Horton gets ready for, I believe, his 4th or 5th kickoff of the game. He's kicked quite a bit today. And this one going to be a short kick again. Going to bounce at about the 31. Going to be fielded cleanly there, and the Packer all over him. Going to get back up to about the 35-yard line before he gets hit by a whole bunch of guys in gray and green.
We got a Wolfpack member getting up a little slow.
Looks like an arm stinger possibly there. He's going to double over as well. So, unfortunately, going to have an injury here on the near side for one of the Wolfpack members. Well, they're in that injury timeout. We'll send you to a word from our sponsor.
CSP Wolfpack coverage on the Channel 98.9 sports stream is provided in part by Steve Daniels Electric and Flicks Heating, Plumbing, and Air Conditioning, located at 147 East Main Street, Corry, PA. They offer residential and light commercial new services, as well as electrical repairs, well pumps, and water conditioning systems. Phone 814-665-6034. Online at flicksheatingplumbingandac.com. We thank Steve Daniels Electric and Flicks Heating and Plumbing for their support of Wolfpack football coverage.
Support for coverage of Wolfpack football on the Channel 98.9 Corry Federal Credit Union sports stream is provided in part by Triple E Manufacturing and Design. Triple E Manufacturing and Design offers equine products, promotional items, embroidery, and printing services. Located at 117 Osborne Street in Sherman and at tripleemfg.com. Phone 800-295-4282. The Channel 98.9 Corry Federal Credit Union sports stream thanks Triple E Manufacturing and Design for their support.
So Wolfpack have an injury there. Mason Groder's the injured player. Again, it appears to be upper body, maybe his arm. Hopefully Mason's all right. He has a touchdown catch in this game, so they don't want to lose him here.
Right.
And it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Herd. And the Wolfpack going to start off in the neutral zone here. And it's number 56, Mason Weber, who's lined up in the neutral zone. And I'm not sure if he didn't see where his hand was in comparison to the ball. It looked like he was, quite a bit past the ball.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I saw it right before the flag flew. I thought he looked like he was across the line.
This time Weber backs it up a little bit. And we'll get ready for 1st and 5 now. There's the snap. Handoff up the middle. Going to get some running room, does number 15. That's Jackson Kraft. And now he gets stood up and brought backwards after a gain of 10 on the play. Tough stop over there on the far side from Matthew Redlecki.
That was just a little counter play right there that worked well. He running at an angle instead of straight up the field.
So 1st down again for the Herd. They're going to start competing with the clock here. 4:20 to play in the first half. They trail 26-6. The Wolfpack getting it done offensively and defensively so far, with the exception of the last Herd drive. They'll see if they can sustain a second one here. Parmenter in the shotgun. He'll give it off to the left side once again. And a short gain. Oh, he's going to get away from the tackler, Troy Chambers. Look at Chambers hold on to the leg. Troy Chambers makes a play on Jackson Kraft. Kraft somehow gets away from him. Chambers just grabs him by his calf and holds on until help comes.
Right. That's why you never stop. Don't stop until the whistle blows.
So Chambers saves a big play there, I think. And it's going to be 2nd and 4 for the Herd. Clock ticks under 4 minutes to play here in the first half. Herd taking their time, break their huddle. Parmenter again in the shotgun. Jones in motion. There's the snap to give to Jones. He's going to get the nice little run off to the right side, and he gets picked up off the ground, but not before a gain of 10 and a 1st down for the Herd. The Wolfpack defense giving up a little bit on those inside runs right now. And a change now. They're going to go back with Daniel Redlecki inside. So Daniel Redlecki going to join Matthew Redlecki out there. 2 Redlecki boys out there on the defensive line trying to get it done. Clock still running here as the Herd spending quite a bit of time in a huddle, considering they're trying to score here before the half ends. Parmenter finally breaks that huddle. He'll have the 24 of Braley next to him. Braley now going to motion to the left side. There's the snap. Parmenter drops back to pass. He fires to his right side, way over the head of Zam, and it's incomplete. 2nd down. And, interesting on that one, they finally take a shot down the field there, and he overthrew his receiver by 10 yards. it happens when you don't get in a rhythm offensively, right? The quarterback's just not ready for it.
Right. Yep, he's been pressured a lot and just didn't have his feet set to throw the ball.
2nd and 10 now. They break the huddle. Parmentier going to be in the shotgun once again. He motions Patrick Braley over a little further away from him to the right side. There's Jones in motion. They're going to do a reverse to Braley up the middle, and he's brought down immediately. The Wolfpack sniff that out. Number 60, Colton Hamilton, and I bet his dad's pretty happy over there serving our country, hearing his name called out after that big tackle.
That was a great play.
3rd and 9.
Short gain on the play.
Down to 2:30 to play here in the first half. (26-6) Wolfpack. Parmentier breaks the huddle. Pretty heavy formation. He's in a pistol. He'll drop to pass. Now he's under a lot of pressure. The Wolfpack going to get to him and bring him down. He actually going to have a forward rush there, gain of about 1 or 2 for Parmentier. But Troy Chambers chasing him around the backfield until they finally brought him down. And timeout Wolfpack here with 2:02 to play.
That was another good defensive effort right there. Just everybody doing what they're supposed to do.
So let's talk about this timeout. 26-6 CSP. You stopped them. It's 4th and 7 now at the 32, and you call a timeout with 2 minutes left. Are you trying to score again before the half? Is that what the plan is here? If you're, Coach Bodemer?
You might want to there's nothing wrong with that in my book. I mean, why not tack one more on, and then you put that much more pressure, on your opponent. They don't have the running clock. You and I talked about that last week. However, they may have a gentleman's agreement you mentioned. And if they do, maybe that's where Coach Bodemer is aiming to get up by 35 and get that running clock going in the second half.
Also nice for the Wolfpack if they can get some of those younger players in, get them some time on the field. And that's one of the things you start thinking about when you have an opportunity to really pull away, so.
Right, and you think about this too, Josh. The last couple of years, the Pack has been so successful that those younger kids have had a lot of time on the field.
Yeah, I'll tell you, last year in 12 games, I think 10 of them, by the second drive of the third quarter, they had all the backups in. So we'll see if they can get to that point. Parmentier in a shotgun here. They're going to go for it on 4th down. 3 wide to the right. There's the snap. He's going to look to throw to his right. Good pressure. Ball is deflected, and it's incomplete. Troy Chambers got his hand on it, and the Wolfpack now going to get the ball back with good field position.
Nice job.
So that changes everything once again. So Wolfpack calls a timeout to save the clock. The Herd decide to go for it instead of punting the ball, and then the Wolfpack deflect the pass, and now they get the ball there at the 32-yard line. Much better field position than they would have had if the punt had actually happened.
Right. So another long field, but the quick strike offense right here, they could definitely score again before this half.
And now might be the time, you were saying earlier, maybe coaches let Carson White air it out. Mm-hmm. And we'll see if Bodemer has that one dialed up, or Coach White, the offensive coordinator, is going to let Carson sling one here. 3 wide to his right. There's the snap. He'll hand it off to Whitney. Whitney to the left side has running room. He's going to get a first down and more. He's up to the 50 and the 40, and he's going to get knocked out of bounds at the 40-yard line. Gain of 30 yards for Sawyer Whitney.
That was a great run. He covers a lot of ground in a hurry, I tell you. It didn't seem like a 30-yard run. It seemed like he got, 15 to 20, and he got 30 yards.
So that puts them on the Herd side of the field now with 1:50 to play. Whitney got out of bounds to stop the clock as well. And actually, they marked him out way back up at the 45-yard line, so it's only going to be about a 24-yard run. There's the snap. Carson White rolling to his right. He's going to throw. He has a man. He completes that pass. Going to be caught and moved up the sideline by Michael Horton on the play. So the kicker, Horton, makes a real nice catch and uses his body to get the first down and out of bounds as well.
Yeah, he put a lick on the defender instead of it being vice versa.
Horton, compared to some of the other receivers CSP has, he's one of the bigger-bodied receivers they have, and he sure showed it right there using that 6'2", 200-pound body to get that first down and get out of bounds. 1:42 to play. 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. White in the shotgun. There's the snap. He'll look to his right. He fires. He has a man. Intercepted. And it's intercepted. Almost had a touchdown pass there. And at the last second, the defender stepped in the way. And a tough break there. Jackson Kraft makes a really nice play on the football. And that receiver was Cameron Eining. He was streaking for a touchdown. If that ball was about a step further in front of him, that was gone.
Yeah, he was 2 steps behind the defender, and had that pass been there, like you said, it would have been a touchdown.
So 1st and 10 now for the Herd. 1:33 to play. They're at their own 24-yard line. And I'm going to guess we're going to see a little running here from the Herd. I don't think they're going to take any serious chances here downfield.
Right. You don't want to give the Pack a chance to intercept one and run it back.
You're going to have a trips formation to the right side and a receiver way outside. They give to Jones. He's brought down the backfield immediately. And it looks like it was Matthew Redlecki who sniffed that one out and put Jones on his back.
That happened in such a hurry that I don't think the running back realized what happened.
It'll be 2nd and 15 from the 18-yard line now for the Herd as the clock ticks down to 1 minute to go. And I think at this point now, you're basically just calling a dive play or something to get to the half.
I agree, yep.
Wolfpack still has a few timeouts. They could think about it if they get a quick stop here. Parmenter coming all the way from the sideline. Obviously the Herd making no motion to hurry here at all. They break the huddle. Zam going to come over to the left side here as the tight end. There's the snap. The give to the left side. And there is a tackle made by Cam Einink. Going to be a gain of about 4 for number 15, Jackson Kraft. Clock down under 30 seconds here in the first half.
5-yard gain on the play. 3rd and 10. 20 seconds remain here in the second quarter.
So really from the moment we got started here, the Lictus Propane kickoff, the Wolfpack offense has been on fire. And their defense looks stout just like last week, 26-6 as we head to the half here in Sherman. And we'll take a quick break, and then we'll come back with the halftime show here on the 98.9 Sports Stream. I want to thank you for joining us here. And Wolfpack looking real good at halftime. We'll be back in just a few minutes.
Thanks for listening to this broadcast of CSP Wolfpack football coverage on the Channel 98.9 Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream at channel989.org. Stay tuned. The Corry Federal Credit Union halftime show is coming up shortly.
WHYP-LP Corry.
The Corry Federal Credit Union is the platinum sponsor of CSP Wolfpack football play-by-play coverage on the Channel 98.9 Sports Stream. The Corry Federal Credit Union would like to wish the Wolfpack the best of luck this season. The Corry Federal Credit Union has been serving the community since 1958. They offer a wide range of financial and banking services for you and your business. The Corry Federal Credit Union is located at 728 Worth Street in Corry, 56 North Main Street in Union City, 315 Main Street in Spartanburg, and online at corryfcu.org. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks the Corry Federal Credit Union, a not-for-profit organization, for their support of CSP Wolfpack football play-by-play.
This is Channel 98.9 Music. This is Channel 98.9 Music.
You are the only exception. You are the only exception.
And this is Channel 98.9 Music.
So who the hell am I to expect a savior? Oh, if I only talk to God when I need a favor, but God, I need a
Corry's Radio Alternative, Channel 98.9.
When I was little, I didn't talk for a long time. I was sensitive to lights and sounds, so I built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. Sometimes I do the same things over and over. until one day I found out I had autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org/signs. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Bob Stye. I host the Grunge Garage. We take you back to the 1990s with all your favorite alternative and Britpop songs. I know you missed these songs, and you got them all with me. Plus, once an hour, we do mandatory Morrissey and a salute to my favorite, sad but mighty lyrical god. The Grunge Garage will meet Bob Stye. It's a trip to the 1990s, and you're going to love it. Check it out every Saturday night from 8 p.m. to midnight, right here on Channel 98.9.
Talking to your kids about the dangers of vaping can be hard. Getting them to listen to hot gossip is easy. So here's some drama you could share with your kid. Dude, did you hear about Cassie and Jake? No, but did you hear that vaping can cause irreversible lung damage and nicotine affects brain development? Nuh-uh. You don't need to gossip if you want to have an open conversation about vaping. So if you want to get tips on when and how to talk to your kids, visit talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
Coach's Corner on the Channel 98.9 Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream is brought to you by Countertop Solutions and Climber. High T Fencing Systems at high-t-fenceinc.com. The Dutch Village Restaurant at Climber, dutchvillage.net. Cornerstone Restaurant at 104 East Main Street in Sherman. First Place Auto Glass at 1794 Foote Avenue in Jamestown. 716-450-0847. Troyer's Greenhouse and Deer Processing in Panama. TroyersGreenhouse.com. Cabot Farms in Clymer. 716-355-6458. Rock Solid General Contracting. The right choice on so many levels. Phone 716-499-2406. And by Lictus Oil and Propane and the Corry Federal Credit Union.
Corry's only locally operated radio station is Channel 98.9. With your eerie weather, your favorite personalities.
Thank you so much for joining us on a Monday.
You see today local news, entertainment, and information around the clock. And Corry's modern rock. Channel 98.9, your one radio station.
Adopt US Kids presents Multiple Choice Parenting.
You're bringing your daughter to a pop concert. Do you A, wear earplugs?
Isn't this fun, Dad?
I'll have a soft pretzel.
Or B, just roll with it?
Justin! OMG! I love you, Justin! I love you!
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on adoption, visit adoptuskids.org. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Angela Morton. I help bring awareness of drug and alcohol issues to rural areas. Let's talk about addiction. Did you know addiction is a medical condition that is treatable? Using drugs or alcohol changes your brain, and treatment can help people recover from addiction. If you or someone you know are struggling with drugs or alcohol or wonder if you might be addicted, help is available even if you don't have insurance. It's your life and your decision. It just starts with a phone call. Call 1-800-662-HELP and ask about treatment options in your area. This message is brought to you by Channel 98.9, Corry's Radio Alternative.
CSP Wolfpack football coverage on the Channel 98.9 Sports Stream is powered by Lictus Oil and Propane in Clymer. Family-owned Lictus Oil and Propane continues to supply liquids and fluids for agriculture, industry, and homeowners. Heating oil and propane services and off-and-on diesel fuel services are also offered. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks Lictus Oil and Propane for being a major sponsor of CSP Sports.
Some people won't give you the real talk on drugs, but it's time we know the facts. Fentanyl is often laced into illicit drugs and used to make fake versions of prescription pills. You can't see it, taste it, or smell it. Suppliers mix fentanyl into their products because it's potent and cheap, and the dealer might not even know. Keep yourself and others safe by knowing the real deal on fentanyl. Get the facts. Go to realdealonfentanyl.com. This message is brought to you by the Ad Council.
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
I'm Dave W. Phillips along with my sidekicks Taryn McKenna. We have a new show here on Channel 98.9. It's called Studio B. Indie alternative music, SoCal style. Studio B is new, cutting-edge music from up-and-coming artists or artists you may not have heard of before. Studio B, Sundays at 7 p.m. right here on Channel 98.9, Corry's Radio Alternative.
Talking to your kids about the dangers of vaping can be hard. Getting them to listen to hot gossip is easy. So here's some drama you could share with your kid. Dude, did you hear about Cassie and Jake? No, but did you hear that vaping can cause irreversible lung damage and nicotine affects brain development? Nuh-uh. You don't need to gossip if you want to have an open conversation about vaping. So if you want to get tips on when and how to talk to your kids, visit talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
What is dedication?
My biggest fear in the middle of my addiction was that my kids wouldn't have a father. And I started thinking, you know what? This isn't my story. I definitely had to become a better man to be a better father. It's important to me that my kids are empowered and truly believe that if they can think it, they can do it.
That's dedication. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
This is Channel 98.9 Music. This is Channel 98.9 Music. And this is Channel 98.9 Music. Corry's Radio Alternative, Channel 98.9.
Thanks for tuning in to CSP Wolfpack football play-by-play coverage on the Channel 98.9 Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream, powered by Lictus Oil and Propane. The halftime show is a presentation of the Corry Federal Credit Union.
CSP Wolfpack coverage on the Channel 98.9 Sports Stream is provided in part by Steve Daniels Electric and Flicks Heating, Plumbing, and Air Conditioning, located at 147 East Main Street, Corry, PA. They offer residential and light commercial new services, as well as electrical repairs, well pumps, and water conditioning systems. Phone 814-665-6034. Online at flicksheatingplumbingandac.com. We thank Steve Daniels Electric and Flicks Heating and Plumbing for their support of Wolfpack football coverage.
CSP Wolfpack football coverage on the Channel 98.9 Sports Stream is powered by Lictus Oil and Propane and Climber. Family-owned Lictus Oil and Propane continues to supply liquids and fluids for agriculture, industry, and homeowners. Heating oil and propane services and off-and-on diesel fuel services are also offered. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks Lictus Oil and Propane for being a major sponsor of CSP Sports.
CSP Wolfpack football coverage is brought to you on the Channel 98.9 Sports Stream by Jim's Automotive, located at 13250 Route 6 in Corry. Phone 814-664-9602. Offering a full line of auto parts, propane filling, and more. Jim's Automotive wants to wish the best of luck to the Wolfpack this season.
Support for CSP Wolfpack football coverage is provided in part by Tina Dills, ERA Team VP, licensed real estate agent, serving the Wolfpack listing area and all of Chautauqua County with real estate services for buyers, sellers, vacation rentals, and all relocation needs. For more information on how to get your move going, Tina can be reached at 716-397-7790. Tina Dills and the ERA Team VP agents wish the Wolfpack the best of luck.
And welcome back into Sherman, New York on a overcast Saturday afternoon. The Wolfpack ahead 26-6 over the herd of Cassadaga Valley, Falconer, Maple Grove, and CSP has looked very good so far, and they'll hope to continue that here in the second half, which will start in about 2.5 minutes here. And the Wolfpack 1-0 coming into today's game after a big win over Franklinville, Ellicottville last week, and off to a really nice start here, trying to get to 2-0 to join the likes of Southwestern Frewsburg, Salamanca, and Chautauqua Lake. And folks, I will tell you, I've seen the Chautauqua Lake coaching, a couple of their coaches and some of their players wandering around here, keeping an eye on their competition. And we see a lot of that because CSP plays on Saturdays. It allows for CSP players to go scout their competition, but it also allows for the competition to come watch them play. 2 weeks away from that big showdown with Chautauqua Lake for senior night for the Wolfpack. But next week, another big one as they'll take on 2-0 Salamanca. So it's not going to get easier for CSP. This game, maybe if they come out here in the second half with a big start like they did in the first half, we could see backups here pretty soon. Or things could change. It's a 26-6 game, a 20-point lead. By no means is it over. Wolfpack coming out to the middle of the field to start their stretching. And, we've seen some really great performances so far in this game. The one that stands out the most to me, though, is Cameron Einink with that pick six. And he's had some tackles as well and been a part of the offense. Cameron Einink, a big contributor. Blake Beckerink also having a really nice game today. Johnny Abers with a few receptions. Gavin Burchanowski, as always, has his hands on the football a lot. And Sawyer Whitney, once again, just pounding the rock for the Wolfpack and continues to show that he is an excellent, excellent tailback. The Herd, on the other hand, have relied very heavily on just two players. Those players are kind of the staple of their offense at this point, and those guys are Grant Zam, the receiver. He's a senior. And then as well the tailback, Taylor Jones, who's had a majority of their carries so far in this one and will continue to be their workhorse here in the second half. The Herd met down here at the end zone closest to the snack shack, and they just now broke their huddle with 27 seconds left in the halftime period. No stretching, just going to head back to the sideline. Not sure if that's a sign of a team that's defeated or a team that's motivated to try to get back into this football game. The Wolfpack, though, certainly showing some excitement and enthusiasm as they finish their stretch at center field. And we'll see which team brings the fire here to start the second half. Brad, I was just speaking on the fact that the Wolfpack has several contributors so far. And, I think that they're off to the kind of start they want. They can put a couple more scores up on the board. They can go to that second string and get ready for next week's big showdown with Salamanca.
Yeah, it's really good to see them spread things out the way they do and get the ball in all of their athletes' hands. And they seem to do that. They did it last week very well, and they're doing it well again here in the first half of football today. So let's see what this second half has to bring.
About to get it started here. It's time. Although they just added 2.5 more minutes to the clock. I think Doc calls this the extra halftime when I have him on the air with me, and that's exactly what they did here, adding an extra 2.5 minutes to the halftime period. I mentioned on air, and I'll mention again, we saw some of our competitors wandering around, kind of scouting out the team today. We also have a majority of the JV and modified team down in the end zone, just playing catch, having some fun. One of my favorite things about varsity football is seeing the kids also get the opportunity to have some fun. I want to shout out the CSP youth program today. They're playing over in Frewsburg. All three teams back-to-back today. They have the flag team at 10, the rookies at noon, and the pros at 2 o'clock. So best of luck to CSP Youth Pack, and I think that they're going with the Mini Pack is the title, as they put in some serious work over there in Frewsburg today.
Nice. And I even caught the Corry starting quarterback over here watching the Wolfpack play today.
How about that?
Lucas Baker's here, yeah.
Little cross-state border rivalry maybe someday.
Right.
I would love to see, District 10 and Section 6 get a chance to play each other early in the season,
Yeah, that would be nice. I mean, even if they scrimmaged to start the season.
Yeah, one thing I talked to Ty Harper about in the past was trying to put together something like that. he was very open to the idea. I've talked to Dave Bodemer about it here. He's the head coach now, and he's open to the idea. The problem is that PA is already in their third week by the time these guys get started, and most PA schools are locking into their league schedule at that point.
Right, and I do believe in the past they have encountered each other in the 7-on-7s at different locations.
Yeah, and I think that's the other opportunity too, is to start doing some more 7-on-7 against each other, to start doing some more off-season stuff together, and schools are so close, right? Eisenhower's right around the corner. Corry's not far from here at all. I mean, there's a lot of opportunity to interact with these District 10 schools. So something I'll continue to advocate, maybe to deaf ears, but I'll keep trying.
Right, yeah. Years ago, before the Climber team, when our old radio station in Corry covered Climber football, a lot of those kids used to come to the YMCA in Corry and lift weights. Now I think they have a lot more possibilities and advantages to be able to work out together a little closer to Climber, Sherman, and Panama.
It's interesting in the off season. My daughter being on the JV team, they all work out at their own schools sometimes. Sometimes they'll go to the other schools and work out with the others. And each school has different equipment and different kind of setups in their weight rooms. It makes it really interesting. One thing CSP has done very well for 10 years is coordinate the inter-school transactions, so moving kids from one school to another. And most unified programs struggle with that. And I see, Falconer, Cassadaga Valley, Maple Grove. We were over at the JV game this morning. They had like 3 buses sitting over there. You could see it was a little chaotic. CSP doesn't seem to really have that problem. They do a really good job of coordinating. So shout out to the superintendents and the bus garage transportation directors. They get that done.
Great.
Going to be the Herd kicking off to start the second half here. And 26-6 again the score. Kick is in the air. Going to be a short one. Fielded there on the bounce at the 30-yard line, up to the 40, and pushed out of bounds there is Burchanowski. So Gavin, he kind of jumped on that one, and he saw the ball bounce and took off with it.
Yeah, he does a nice job. He's a quick kid, and he's got good vision of the field.
So I mentioned earlier he was a baseball player. You asked if he was a wrestler. He is. Gavin, a 3-sport athlete, and good at all 3 of those sports. Baseball, he's a pitcher. He also plays second base and shortstop. Really a big part of that CSP baseball team this last season.
Nice.
White in the shotgun to get the started here in the second half from their own 38. To give to Whitney. He moves to the left side, breaks one tackle. He'll plunge forward, and it takes 4 guys to bring him down after 7 yards.
Nice run there. Good blocking.
You got that many white shirts hanging off the guy. It's unreal.
You talk about the 3-sport athletes. A lot of times when kids are really good at one sport and they're going to college, the first thing the college coaches ask, how many other sports do you play?
Yeah. Trips to the right. There's the snap, a delayed snap. He gets it to Whitney. Whitney now going to have to beat a man, and he gets horse-collared there and brought down. I'm not going to call it a horse collar. It was a little bit lower than that. We'll not quite call it a penalty, but very close to a horse collar. So a loss of 2 for Whitney that time. And that's not his fault. By the time the pitch got there, he already had a guy on top of him.
Right. That needs to develop just a little quicker.
3rd and 4 for the Wolfpack. White and Whitney in the backfield. Whitney going to be to his left. 2 wide to either side. There's the snap. He'll look to his left. Oh, and it bounces off the receiver's hands. And it was dropped there by Johnny Abers. And that one hit him right in the hands. Again, White throwing that straight line pass right at his receiver's chest. So 4th and 4 at their own 46-yard line. What's the call here?
Well, I think they're going to go back to the pass. It's going to be probably one of those little screens.
3 wide receivers to the left. Everyone yelling screen from the Herd sideline. There's the snap. He'll roll to the left, look and throw. Has a man, completes the pass. And Cameron Eining going to have enough for a CSP first down.
That was a nice design play right there. And
Eining knew where that first down line was, didn't he? Because he just barely got there, only by a half a yard.
Right. Yeah, that's the key right there is knowing where you're at all times.
1st and 10 at the 50 for the Wolfpack. Maybe the 49.5 of the Herd. And the Wolfpack offense still rolling here. 3 wide to the right. White checks his receivers. There's the snap. He'll give it to Whitney up the middle. Whitney breaks one tackle, runs into his own player, and then takes off. He's going to have a first down and more down to the 31 man to beat. He gets around the 20, the 10. Sawyer Whitney goes 50 yards for the CSP touchdown.
Wow. That was a nice run.
The only real contact was from his own player. He ran right into the back of Matthew Redlecki. When he finally got clear of his own lineman, he was gone.
Right. Yeah, he just saw that seam and he took it and off to the races.
Sawyer Whitney heard me at halftime saying I was thinking about giving player of the game to somebody else, and he said, watch this. Takes it to the house from 49.5 yards out. The Wolfpack up 32-6, and here's Horton for the extra point. Eining gets it down. Horton's kick is up, and again off to the right side, no good. Every kick today has been the same for Michael Horton. He kicked really well last week. I don't know if it's something that's going on with the hold and the way they're getting the transition down or what's happening, but not his best kicking day. I'm sure he'll bounce back. He has been contributing in the passing game, though. He'll have to kick off now after missing another extra point. Having a quick conversation with Coach Bodemer, trying to get the kicker to shake off the bad extra point there. That's a tough thing to shake off, almost as bad as a quarterback shaking off an interception.
Right. Yep. And I like the fact that Coach Bodemer was right out there to meet him and talk to him about it, Try to calm him down and say, we'll get there.
Wolfpack now up 32-6. If you give a good kickoff here, you get a 3-and-out from the herd. Is it too early to put the backups in?
No, I think that would be an opportune time to put them in. And if something happens that the herd comes back and scores a couple times, so maybe you do, work your guys back in. But, I think that it's definitely well in hand here.
Horton trying to get the ball to stay on the tee there. It fell off a couple times for him. And every time it falls off, he has to give it back to the referee. That's a new thing in Section 6 this year. The ref has to touch the ball every time.
Wow. Seems like that's kind of a silly rule, but
I think it's just one of those things to make sure there's no manipulation being done to the football, and maybe they've gone a little too far on that rule. Horton ready to kick now. Boot is going to be another short one, an onside kick attempt, and it goes out of bounds at about the 39-yard line, so the penalty will give the herd good starting position. With 10:25 to play here in the third quarter, it's 32-6 CSP. And I don't know if Horton was going for the onside kick there or not. It looked kind of like it was an intentional onside kick.
Mm-hmm.
Kick out of bounds.
They're calling a false start against CSP.
Plus 5 yards.
That was certainly a false start call that the official just gave us. Maybe they got him for. I'm not sure what the call is there. He definitely did a false start. Either way, the herd going to start at the 44-yard line, their own 44, and a huge drive now for the herd. They're going to have to do something on this possession. Parmentier gets the snap, fakes the handoff to Jones, gives it to Kraft. Kraft going to get some forward momentum before he gets hit and brought down there by Johnny Abers. Abers came flying in from the far side, made a nice play there.
Yeah, that was a really good fake by the herd quarterback right there. It just it looked like the play was going to go in like a sweep to the right, but a little quick handoff, and they got some pretty good yardage.
And they've tried to build everything in their offense off this misdirection running where they were using Taylor Jones on a lot of those sweeps, and now they're working off of it and doing things outside of it. But you see Jones, he starts here on the left side. They'll move him, usually motion him towards the backfield. This time a run behind him. Jackson Kraft once again. Short game for Kraft, and he's gotten quite a few carries here in the middle of the game. Kraft kind of going to take some of that load off of Jones, it seems.
Right.
But they usually start with Jones on basically in a tight end position and then motion him towards the quarterback just before the ball is snapped, and then they're running just sweeps out of that. So it's almost like a jet sweep.
Mm-hmm.
3rd and 1 for the herd at the CSP 47-yard line. Parmentier in the shotgun. There's the snap. He gives it to Jones. Jones going to get around the end and get a first down, and he's going to get brought down over there by number 3, Blake Beckerink, and Jones down after the play. He's up. Appears to be favoring his left knee. Tough break for the tailback here from the herd. Hopefully he's okay. Well, they're tending to him with the injury timeout. We're going to send you to a quick word from our sponsors here on the 98.9 Sports Stream.
Support for coverage of Wolfpack football on the Channel 98.9 Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream is provided in part by Triple E Manufacturing and Design. Triple E Manufacturing and Design offers equine products, promotional items, embroidery, and printing services. Located at 117 Osborne Street in Sherman and at tripleemfg.com. Phone 800-295-4282. The Channel 98.9 Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream thanks Triple E Manufacturing and Design for their support.
1st and 10 for Falconer, Cassadaga Valley, Maple Grove at the Wolfpack 46-yard line. There's the snap. The give going to be to number 2, Dylan Newman, and he's going to get a gain of about 2 on the play. Brought down on the far side by several members of the Wolfpack. Pack defense again trying to stand up and make a stop here in the middle of the field. They've done it 4 or 5 times already today, and this has kind of been their sweet spot. They give up maybe a first down or 2, kind of that bend but don't break mentality.
Yeah, they have definitely looked strong.
And Falconer, Cassadaga, Maple Grove seem to be kind of relinquishing the ability to throw the ball here in the second half so far. We'll see if they go back to that now as they get a little later in their drive. It's been all running plays from them so far.
Yeah, they're not too far away from getting into desperation mode where they're going to have to try to score quickly.
Parmentier in the shotgun. The handoff to the left side. Again, it's number 15, Jackson Kraft. He's brought down in the backfield. The Wolfpack all over him. And leading the way is Daniel Redlecki, the sophomore, making a big play there from the defensive line position.
Talk about stringing that play out. Those guys just would not let him go forward. He had to go side to side, and they were all over him.
The Wolfpack have Daniel Redlecki listed at 6 foot 175. I'm looking at him right now, and he looks like he's significantly bigger than that.
Yeah.
Playing the defensive end position for the Pack defense right now. 3rd and 10 for the herd. Now look at this set from Parmentier. It's going to be an empty set. 3 wide to the right. Going to bring a guy in motion. He'll drop back to pass. They'll fire the wide receiver screen off to the right side. Jackson Kraft going to have a nice gain of about 7 or 8 on that play. It's 4th down.
Yeah, that trips right formation there was almost like a bunch formation, Josh. These guys were in tight.
Yeah, really kind of a weird bunch. And it was interesting. They're always going to bring somebody in motion. That's pretty much their offense at this point. But it looks like Kraft is down on the play. That's a big thing. He's had all the touches here in the middle of the game for the herd.
Well, from here it looks just like a cramp, though, because usually that's what they're doing when they stretch him out like that. It's just he's cramping up a little bit.
And we talked about cramp counters last week, and we probably should be doing that. This is at least the second one today.
Right.
And you and I both see a lot of football. You see all the Corry games, and I kind of travel around for a lot of games in PA as well. It's not an exaggeration to say 6 or 7 cramp timeouts per game.
No.
At the standard high school game.
No, that's
probably
about average.
Yeah, I don't remember that early in the 2000s and stuff like that. I think that's more of a newer age kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's because the hydration has changed or if, these guys are just better athletes and there's now more sensitive to things like that. When they start cramping, it immediately becomes an issue. I don't know.
Right.
Definitely something we see a lot more.
Many years ago, it was the old saying, you don't eat enough bananas.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a potassium thing, I guess. But
4th and 2 for the herd and some confusion right now. They're trying to figure out where their receiver needs to go. Jones, the tailback. Zam moves into fullback. They give it to Jones. He's going to make a move to the right side. Redlecki is there.
Wow.
And the Wolfpack make the play.
Redlecki just knifed his way through that defense, and the running back didn't have a chance.
Blake Beckering came from 9 yards away to make that tackle as well. What a great job by the Wolfpack defense. You closed 9 yards in what, a second and a half, 2 seconds? I mean, that's really impressive.
That is.
So Wolfpack take over there. They'll have 1st and 10 at about the 36-yard line or so, something like that. Hard to tell with the herd players between me and the chain gang over there. And look at this. They're going to come right out into a passing formation. 3 wide to the right. Whitney to his right as White is in the shotgun. Takes a look over at Beckering. Checks his other receivers. Now he'll send one in motion. That's Horton. Horton going to lead block for Whitney to the left side. Whitney going to get around the corner but knocked out of bounds after a gain of 4. Sawyer still continuing to grind here for the Wolfpack. Down to 6:30 to play here in the third quarter. That clock is rolling down nice and quickly here. 32-6 CSP.
It is moving quickly.
And again, we want to remind you, folks, next Friday night, 7 p.m. kickoff, CSP versus Salamanca. At Salamanca, going to be a big one for the Wolfpack to decide who are going to be top dogs in the C-South. 4 teams biting for that title. White's throw is caught for a first down, and a nice catch by Blake Beckering for the first down. He snagged that one out of midair.
Yeah, and that was a very well-thrown ball and put where only his receiver was going to catch it. So credit Carson White on that one for just firing a bullet in the right spot.
So now 1st and 10. After the Beckering first down, they're down to the 46-yard line of the herd. Trips to the right. Carson takes the snap. He'll hand it off to Whitney up the middle. Whitney makes a nice move to the left side. Short gain, maybe 1 or 2, but a nice move there. Nice cut to keep that play alive. And the Wolfpack coaching staff still coaching the offensive line really hard right now, even though they're up 32-6. They don't want to see mistakes this late in the game.
We got things spread out pretty good here, Josh.
3 wide to the right. White awaits the snap. There it is. He'll look to throw to that side and just a little bit behind his receiver. And it looks like it was Horton, the intended receiver on the play.
Yeah, he had a guy bearing down on him, so he got rid of it really quick.
So now 3rd and long for the Pack. 3rd and 9 with 5:38 to play here in the third quarter. If you don't complete the pass and get a first down here or get the first down, whether they run or throw, it's a tough 4th down situation at this point. You might just punt it deep and make the herd try to work.
Right.
3 wide to the right. White all by himself in the backfield. He checks all of his receivers. There's the snap. He's going to look to throw to his left side. Fires. Hits his man for a first down and more to the 20. And he's going to get tripped up at the 10-yard line.
Wow. That was Einig.
And Einig was, man, he's fast, isn't he?
He is fast.
Newman just got a shoestring on him there and stopped that from being a touchdown for Cam Einig. But a nice gainer there. That's going to be 31 yards for Cam Einig. And a first down at the 10-yard line for the Wolfpack. So just when we start talking about punting, all of a sudden they're like, no, watch this. We're going to keep the ball moving. Toby Watson gets his offensive line set. He's ready to snap it. White in the shotgun, 3 wide to the right. There's the snap. He fakes the handoff to Whitney. He's going to roll to his right. Fakes a throw. He's going to run now. He's at the 10. He's down to the 5, and he gets pushed out of bounds there at about the 5-yard line. Carson White showing off the fact that he can also run the football and makes a nice play there for the Wolfpack. Ticking down to about 5:04 to play now. 32-6 CSP. That play did go out of bounds, so the clock did stop at 5:04. Shout out to Doc giving us a shout out here on the PA. Appreciate it, Doc, and we're happy to be here and be part of the CSP experience.
Yeah, for sure. I want to thank you, Josh, for having me aboard for the first 2 weeks of the season here.
Been a pleasure to have you. I think it's nice to cross that border and get the perspective that you have from D10 football, and it definitely works out for us. The handoff to the left side to Blake Beckerink. He's met in the backfield by the big defensive lineman, number 55 of the herd, and that is C.J. Morrison, the senior. You know, it's funny. I'm quite a few years removed from being on the field, you know. Some of these guys just look so much bigger than I did at their age.
Right. Yeah, there's a huge difference from my days, too. You had a sprinkled few big linemen, and that was about it.
White in the shotgun. He'll roll to his right. He fires, has a man, and just in front of his receiver, incomplete. Intended for Michael Horton again.
Good defensive play right there. Jones from the herd there made a nice play.
And he again, had to drive on the football from 4 or 5 yards away. We're seeing a lot of guys who plant that foot and drive to the football. It's it's a skill you have to learn as you go. I mean, it's not something that's just natural for anybody. All right, 4th and 6 now for the Wolfpack. A big play here for the Herd defense to try to stand up and make a stop here. White going to be in an empty set. Waits for the snap. There it is. He's going to look to his left. He pump fakes. Now he fires, has a man in the end zone. Touchdown, CSP. No surprise, Gavin Burchanowski.
Nice route again. Once again, it was a nice route and perfect throw.
And White made a nice little pump fake there. It was just enough to hold that cornerback and give Burchanowski a step so he could catch that football. 38-6 CSP. We're getting close to that blowout status now, and like you said, now's the time you start talking about the second stringers going in. We'll see what the extra point looks like here for Michael Horton. There's the snap. Horton's kick. This one a better kick. He gets it up in the air, and it's good. Finally, he gets one, and you can see he's celebrating that. A big burden off his back there as he finally knocks one through. 40-6 CSP. Quick word from our sponsor here on the 98.9 Sports Stream.
Wolfpack football on the Channel 98.9 Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream is provided in part by Countertop Solutions, a proud supporter of Wolfpack athletics. Countertop Solutions wishes the Wolfpack luck in their pursuit of excellence on the field.
Support for Wolfpack football on the Channel 98.9 Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream is provided in part by Utegg's Body Shop in Corry, offering collision repair and refinishing along with frame straightening services. 699 East Smith Street in Corry or at uteggsbodyshop.com. Phone 814-663-2562. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks Utegg's Body Shop for their support.
And back in Sherman, New York, as the Wolfpack have a commanding 40-6 lead. And 4:12 to play here in the third quarter. The Herd come into town 0-1 after losing last week to a Class D school, and they've had a tough go here with the Wolfpack today. Horton's kick takes a nice bounce, going to be fielded at the 20-yard line, up to the 30. Uh-oh, and they got a man on the run with nobody in front of him. Number 7, Brody Hawkins, going to return this kick for a touchdown.
Wow, that was a nice long run right there. That was about 80 yards, I believe.
Yeah, I fielded it right at the 20. And it was interesting. It took a couple hops before it got to him, and it almost felt like that the return team had given up on that football. And then he picked it up and took off.
Yeah, he went down the center of the field and then broke it to the left. And he just found the right seam, and there was no one there.
Michael Horton annoyed after that one. And he finally got the extra point to go on the last play. And then this kick gets returned on him, and you can see as he comes off the field, just a frustration from him, but he'll be okay. Has to shake it off and keep on going. 40-12 now the score. Looks like going to try to go for 2 here for the Herd. And does that play keep the starters in for CSP?
I don't think so. I think you still bring in the reserves.
Pitch to Jones. He'll get in for the 2-point conversion. So now 14-40. 4:01 to play in the third, and it'll be interesting to see. I'm not sure who's going to come in at quarterback for the Wolfpack when they go to the second string. Johnny Abers was a quarterback in JV, but beyond Johnny, I don't know who the next quarterback up is. So I'll be interested to see what they do there. I know the next guy up on the JV squad is out right now due to injury, so he's certainly not going to be the guy. And that's Lance Griswold, who's an up-and-comer in the JV program, somebody we're looking forward to seeing at the varsity level very soon.
Good.
We'll see if we get some sort of onside kick here, maybe. If I was the Herd, that'd be the only thing I could think of. When you're down 40-14 and you can't stop their offense, you got to get the ball back.
Right. Yeah, with 4-possession game right now, that's what's making me lean towards putting your reserves in.
They just changed the scoreboard to 40-13. Did they miss their extra point before? I think they did. So the 2-point conversion will make it 40-13. Interesting.
No, they scored 2 touchdowns, so 2-point conversion would be 14.
No, they just changed it back to 14 again. Short kick. Going to go out of bounds? No, it's not. And did he touch it? It died right there, and they're saying it's the Herd's football.
Yeah, it must have hit his leg. It's hard to see from our vantage point here, but that must have touched him.
And that's going to be a tough break. Talon Persons, the player there, and I think everyone on the sideline told him to stop, let it go out of bounds. He stopped, and then they said it bounced off of him. Wow. Well, that worked out for the Herd. So they took a point away from CSP now. Now it's 39-14, which
now,
I believe is the correct score.
And that will keep the starters in a little longer.
Yeah, defensive starters still out there for the Wolfpack. Down to the 35-yard line for starting possession for the Herd now. Parmentier comes out to his huddle, calls out the play. The Herd will break that huddle now, and Jones going to be the tailback. Braley also in the backfield to the right. Parmentier under center. There's the snap. The give to Jones. No, he'll fake it. He'll roll out the pass to the right. He'll let it go. He has a man. It's Zam, and he's going to have a first down. Grant Zam, another nice catch for the Herd. Zam has all their receptions today.
Wow. Yeah, that was just a nice play. Good rollout. He had plenty of time. His line gave him a lot of time to set up and throw that ball.
It's another one of those situations where I talk about flying under the radar, right? The Wolfpack up 39-14. If they had put another score or two without giving anything else up, then all of a sudden it's a blowout and everybody's saying, oh, here comes the Wolfpack. But by doing it this way, and there's the handoff give to Jones on the left side, and short gain for Jones before he gets stopped there. But for better or worse, doing it this way and giving up a few points later in the game makes it look a little bit more like a closer game than it was. And if you weren't Chautauqua Lake, who's here right now, you might think this team's not quite as good as they are.
Mm-hmm. So you said Salamanca next week, Chautauqua the following week?
That's correct. Yep,
wow.
Salamanca next Friday at 7 p.m.
So they're going to start getting into the meat of their schedule here.
Yeah, two of the biggest games of the season on tap for the Wolfpack. So definitely some things to clean up, as we've talked about. But all in all, I think they are ready for the challenge of competing in Class C South. There's the snap, handoff to the left side. It's Jones. He's hitting the backfield, breaks that tackle, gets a few more yards before being brought down. And the Wolfpack, they knew where that play was going, but unable to stop him in the backfield. Cameron Einink on the tackle. 3rd and 2. Down to 2:30 to play here in the third quarter. And if you guys remember, if you were watching last year, the Pack was down to Lackawanna by a similar score, came all the way back to make it an 8-point game before Lackawanna pulled away at the end. We're not looking for those kind of heroics today. We'd like to see this thing end quietly.
Right.
There's the handoff to Jones on the right side. He's going to get chased down and break a tackle, and another one. Gomez eventually gets him, but not before he gets a first down. Wow, Jones just turned nothing into something right there.
So last year, Coach Ty Harper had the Pack play Lackawanna, and who was the other big school that they played?
They played Waverly and Lakeshore as well.
That's right.
So
Yes.
Three much bigger schools to try to get them tuned up for the state playoff run, and it seemed to have a pretty positive effect. This year, the only non-league game was the Franklinville-Ellicottville rivalry game. But again, all the schools they're playing this year are much bigger because they're playing in the C as opposed to the D.
Right.
The D, by the way, also looking very competitive. I was taking a look at some of the standings over there. A lot of good football happening in Class D as well. Get to those out-of-town scores here in just a minute. Herd back on the football. There's the snap. Give to the right side. Wow, what a hit. Wow, Brian Gomez says you are not scoring on this play. Gomez shuts down Jones on that one. Going to be a loss of about 3 on the play for Jones.
Yeah, he leveled him. Wow. Good hit by Gomez.
We'll take a look at that Class D standings. Randolph, Newfane, Wilson, Gowanda, Pine Valley, all 2-0. Cat Little Valley sits at 1-1. And then the other schools, Franklinville, Ellicottville, Allegheny Limestone, and Silver Creek Forestville, all 0-2. We'll get to see here after this play. Take a look at how the Packs stack up. Parmentier going to be under center. There's the snap. Fakes the handoff. He'll roll out the pass. Fires, has a man, completes the pass. And going to be a touchdown for Jackson Kraft there. They had him at the 1, but he got free of the man and scores for the Herd.
That's the difference between just throwing your body at somebody and wrapping and tackling.
So that makes it 39-20. Again, talking about the C South as we're down to 38 seconds to play here in the third. So far, Springville's 0-2. Falconer, Cassadaga, Valley, Maple Grove 0-1 into today's game. And then the 1-1 teams are Fredonia and Portville. They're both 1-1. Portville got a really rough game on Friday night from Chautauqua Lake. Chautauqua Lake beat them handily. Stockholm Lake, Southwestern, Frewsburg, and Salamanca all 2-0. And the Pack sit at 1-0 here for at least another quarter. Here's a run to the right side. He'll be in for the 2-point conversion. So now 39-22 the score, and the Pack letting the Herd kind of battle back here.
Yeah, and that kind of hurts for the reserves because now the Pack is pretty much forced into at least keeping the starters in to try to score one more time to stretch out that lead.
The good news is they have a very, very talented young sophomore running back, and they got some clock to burn. So that tells me we're going to see a whole lot of Sawyer Whitney now.
Yes.
The Herd getting set up to kick off. As we said, 38.9 seconds to play here in the third quarter. 39-22 CSP. Kind of a weird football score, 39-22. But as I said, Class C getting interesting. 3 teams at 2-0. If CSP wins today, they'll join them. They'll be the 4th team at 2-0 at C South. In the C North, only 2 2-0 teams. That's Eden North Collins and Medina. Eden North Collins kind of the favorite in C North this year. Ready for the kickoff now. We'll try this again. This one, Pearson's going to snag out of the air, take off. He'll run right to contact and be tackled at about the 36-yard line, and that's where the Wolfpack offense will get started. He wasn't going to make the same mistake he made on the last kickoff where he touched the ball as it went out of bounds. So this time he will charge the ball and run it back for a 7-yard return.
34 seconds remain here in the third quarter.
So as I said, I expect a heavy dose of running here from the Wolfpack, but we'll see. They might try to surprise us.
Never know.
Breaking the huddle now is CSP at their own 38. White in the shotgun with Whitney next to him to his left. The snap he gives to Whitney up the middle. Whitney a nice run to contact, and short gain going to be 3 or 4, but man, he hit those big guys up in the middle and did not stop. Not afraid for that contact at all.
No, I think he welcomes the contact.
Gain of 5. I thought it was only 3 or 4. He got even further than I thought he did. Those 2 defensive tackles for the Herd, I mean, those are big guys. Those are like 6'3", 6'4 guys, probably both close to 300 pounds, and Sawyer just went right at him. And that'll end the third quarter. We'll head to the fourth here in Sherman. 39-22, CSP in control. Quick word from our sponsor. We'll come back and finish this one up.
CSP Wolfpack football coverage on the Channel 98.9 Sports Stream is powered by Lictus Oil and Propane and Climber. Family-owned Lictus Oil and Propane continues to supply liquids and fluids for agriculture, industry, and homeowners. Heating oil and propane services and off-and-on diesel fuel services are also offered. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks Lictus Oil and Propane for being a major sponsor of CSP Sports.
CSP Wolfpack coverage on the Channel 98.9 Sports Stream is provided in part by Steve Daniels Electric and Flicks Heating, Plumbing, and Air Conditioning, located at 147 East Main Street, Corry, PA. They offer residential and light commercial new services, as well as electrical repairs, well pumps, and water conditioning systems. Phone 814-665-6034. Online at flicksheatingplumbingandac.com. We thank Steve Daniels Electric and Flicks Heating and Plumbing for their support of Wolfpack football coverage.
And back here for the final frame, the fourth quarter here in Sherman. The Wolfpack lead by 17, 39-22. They have the football 2nd and 5, and right around midfield at the 48-yard line of the Herd. Their own 48-yard line, I'm sorry. As they try to push this one forward and put to bed week 2 here in Sherman. White in the shotgun. He has 2 wide to either side. He has Whitney to his right. The snap, the give to Whitney. He gets past the defensive line, gets to the second level. He's going to have the first down and more. Whitney breaks out to the right side. Going to be a gain of 15 for Sawyer Whitney.
Nice run right there. And once again, just a great vision of the field by Sawyer Whitney to see when and where to cut.
Sawyer, again, continuing to be the workhorse. This player of the game, the Flicks Heating and Daniels Electric player of the game, is going to be a tough pick today.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll tell you what, at halftime I was 100% sold on Cameron Einink, and Sawyer just continues to grind it out. Give it to Sawyer last week, right? We got to pick somebody else. I think we should pick somebody else. Maybe it's Carson White. He's had a pretty good day.
Yeah, he's done well. Burchanowski we've called a few times.
That's right. Or we could look at the defense. Look at those linebackers who have a ton of tackles like Toby Watson. Handoff up the middle. That one's going to go to Blake Beckerink, and he's going to charge forward for a short gain. We'll call it 3 on the play for Beckerink.
Right, and then you got to throw in Gomez into the mix as well because
Gomez and Watson both several tackles.
Right, both guys doing great.
Co-players of the game, maybe.
Yeah, we did that last night over in Corry. We had co-players. There was just no way of getting around it, really. And then an honorable mention to the defense, which could very well happen again here today.
All right, 2nd and 8 for the Pack now. They break the huddle. White in the shotgun with Beckerink to his left. The snap, the give to Beckerink. Beckerink going to get past the defensive line, but he had a player hold on to his back as he charged forward, gain of 4 for Blake Beckerink.
I tell you, that was a very smart play by Beckerink because he started off to the right and there just wasn't anything there, and he quickly just cut back to the left.
So big 3rd down now for the Herd defense. 3rd and 5, 10 minutes to play in the game. Pack up by 17. If they can get a first down here, things are going to be in really good control for the Wolfpack. White in the shotgun, Whitney to his left, 3 wide to that side. The snap. He'll follow Whitney to the left. He'll look to throw. He fires, has a man, completes the pass. First down, yardage there, and he gets out of bounds as well. That stops the clock. Not what they wanted to stop the clock there, but Eining makes a great catch.
Yeah, good play, and he was looking for more. Just couldn't get there.
As soon as I say we're going to go away from Cameron Eining for player of the game, then he makes a play like that. He's right back on the top of my list again.
Right.
So 9:50 to play. Wolfpack now down to the 31. Driving once again on the Herd. Trips right. White has Sawyer to his left. There's the snap. He'll look to that right side. Now he's going to roll to that right side. He's going to fire one up. He has a man. It's Burchanowski just out of his reach, out of bounds.
That was a nice play, and I tell you what, that was a very strong throw on the run by Carson White.
Yeah, didn't have a chance to really set his feet because there was a player chasing him, so he threw that while running. Very impressive throw there. It's about a 32-yard pass that he just threw just out of the reach of his receiver. All right, 2nd and 10. Reset, do it again. 9:43 to play. 39-22 CSP. This time, White will have Whitney to his right, 3 wide to that side, and only Beckerink to his left. The snap. Give to Whitney up the middle. Whitney going to get past the first man. He runs into his own teammate, and they both get hit pretty hard there. But a nice run there by Sawyer Whitney, going to pick up 7 yards on the play. His offensive line gets a lot of shots in the back as he runs them over. He does not. There's no slowing down for Sawyer.
3rd and 3.
So 3rd and 3, clock running after the Sawyer carry there. And we tick under 9 minutes to play here before this play will be snapped. This time, White has Whitney to his right, 3 wide to that side. The snap he gives to Whitney. Whitney running to his left, and it's going to be a short gain. I don't know if it's going to be enough for a first down. It's going to be very close. See what the spot is from the officials. Initially, the far side chain gang saying it's 4th, and it looks like 4th and 1 after the Whitney carry. So 2 yards on the play. $8:30 to play.
Yeah, they're chewing some time off that clock.
This is a big 4th down again. Another chance for the Herd to get a stop here. I'm thinking they're in the shotgun. I was going to say QB sneak, but no. Shotgun with Whitney to his right. There's the snap. He'll follow Whitney to the right side. He's going to roll out, look to throw. He does throw, and the receiver's hit. He says he caught it. The far sideline says he doesn't. And the officials say he does catch it down at the 10-yard line.
I thought he caught it. It's hard to tell from this angle, but
I believe it was Michael Horton on that far sideline.
Good concentration on catching that football. Jeez.
That was 5. It was Cameron Eining once again.
A lot of traffic over there.
Eining comes out of nowhere and makes that catch to keep the drive alive. And The far sideline not happy with that call. Their coaching staff is not happy that was called a catch. Waiting for the chain gang to get reset now. We're at 8:11 to play in the fourth quarter.
First and 10, Wolfpack.
And it'll be first and 10 at the 11 for the Pack, so they can get a first down without scoring. And again, I think we're going right back to the run game here. Got the first down, now there's no need to throw the ball, run some more clock. White breaks the huddle, brings the Pack to the line. He's in the shotgun with Whitney to his left, 3 wide to that side. Waits the snap. There it is, the give to Whitney up the middle. Whitney makes a hard cut to the right side, but the defensive linemen eat him up right there. Very short gain for Sawyer. Going to call it 1.
Time continues to tick.
And that's almost better. I mean, you want a little bit more than 1.5 yards on that, maybe 3 yards, 3 or 4. But 2nd and 8, clock's now down to 7:45 to play. By the time they get up to the line, it's going to be 7:30. Can't ask for a much better drive than what the Wolfpack's putting together right here.
Right.
They do break that huddle. And again, White in the shotgun. Whitney to his right, 3 wide to that side. 1 in motion. There's the snap. The give to Whitney with a lead blocker out in front. But again, Whitney going to get met right at the line. Not going to get very much on that one. They brought Gomez across the formation to lead block, but the defense swarmed to Sawyer Whitney that time. And they're going to say it's a gain of nothing. So 3rd and 9 for the Wolfpack. Clock kicks down to 7 minutes to play. Carson White jogs back to the huddle. Looks like they're bringing Johnny Abers in. Brian Gomez comes off, so now more of a passing offense on the field. And big play here. 6:45 to play. 3rd and 9. White in the shotgun. 2 wide to either side. There's the snap. He looks to his left. He'll move to his left now. Lots of pressure. He'll fire the ball up, and it's incomplete as the defender gets a penalty after the play for shoving the receiver.
Wow.
And Jones, who we've talked about, really been excellent in coverage today, he shoved the receiver before the ball got there, and then he shoved the receiver again after the ball was dropped. And I'm not sure which one is the one he got flagged for, but both of them are a penalty. And we'll see what happens here. Waiting for the call from the officiating crew. Still no call. There's a nice conference going on out there. This is kind of a inconsequential call at this point in the game, but they're trying to make sure they get it right. Still conferencing.
Yeah, quite the...
Wolfpack going to go back to their run offense as you see Gomez coming back onto the field. Get that first down there and send Gomez back out and try and run off another minute or 2 off the clock. 5 officials standing in a circle. No one making a call yet. We're still waiting.
Meeting of the minds.
And was that... I still don't know what that... Did you know what that call was?
No, I didn't catch it.
They waved off the second flag. That's what it was.
Okay.
So the first penalty is going to be the pass interference. The second flag was the unsportsmanlike conduct. They waved off the unsportsmanlike conduct and accepted the pass interference. Or vice versa. One of them was upheld. And that should give CSP a 1st and goal. At the about 4-yard line, it looks like. So we'll see what the call is here. Whitney and Gomez going to be in the backfield. Well, I believe that's an automatic first down if it's a personal foul, right?
Should be.
So the chain gang showing 4th and 2. Interesting. Going to say this is 4th down here. So I really thought that penalty was an automatic first down. I'll have to double check that rule. The Wolfpack going to have to do something here and move the ball forward 4 yards. And it looks like a timeout possibly here as they want to talk about it. Well, the officials are going to debate whether this is a first down or not. So now they all come back together for another conference. And I think it's a first down. One official coming over to have a chat with the CSP coaching staff who are very upset that they're calling it 4th down. And a timeout now for CSP. With their timeout, we'll take one here on the 98.9 Sports Stream.
Support for Wolfpack football on the Channel 98.9 Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream is provided in part by Utegg's Body Shop in Corry, offering collision repair and refinishing along with frame straightening services. 699 East Smith Street in Corry or at uteggsbodyshop.com. Phone 814-663-2562. Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks Uteggs Body Shop for their support.
Corry's only locally operated radio station is Channel 98.9. With your eerie weather, your favorite personalities.
Thank you so much for joining us on a Monday.
You see today local news, entertainment, and information around the clock. And Corry's Modern Rock. Channel 98.9, your one radio station.
And welcome back into Sherman, New York. And we're trying to get this one over with here. It's been kind of a drawn out last few minutes. There's a lot of things happening there, penalties and clock stoppage, but 6:34 to play here in the fourth quarter. The Pack up 17. They lead 39-22, and they have 4th and about 4 at the 7-yard line, 6-yard line. And so they can get a first down without scoring. Kind of a weird situation there. We thought that the unsportsmanlike conduct or intentional foul, whatever it was, should have been an automatic first down.
Right.
White in the shotgun. Whitney to his right, 3 wide to that side. White awaits the snap here on 4th down. There it is, a high one. He reels it in. He'll have Whitney lead blocking. He throws it, has a receiver, completes the pass. Touchdown, CSP. It's Carson White completing another one. And I don't know who caught the ball over there.
I was looking at the shoes. I thought it was Kim, but I'm not sure. Kim Eining.
Eining again. Eining, that would be, I believe, his 2nd or 3rd touchdown of the game. Might be his 3rd. 2 offensive and the pick 6.
Right.
Michael Horton back out there for an extra point as the Pack leads 45-22. Eining gets the ball down. Horton's kick is up, and it is good. The Wolfpack extend that lead to 46-22 with 6:31 to play. And now I think we see the backups.
Yes.
So the Herd didn't score a touchdown last week, lost 7-6. This week they put some points on the board against a good CSP defense, but they have a lot to work on to get their season back on track. The Wolfpack going to move to 2-0 on the season, barring a catastrophe here, and join those 3 other teams in C-South that are vying for that top spot.
Right. I was looking, double-checking that, but I'm almost positive that it was Cameron Eining that caught the touchdown pass. Like I said, I was looking at the shoes, and I'm pretty sure that was him in the corner of the end zone. So that definitely puts him back
at the top, running. Yeah. And by the way, you can always find our Flicks Heating and Daniels Electric Player of the Game in a graphic on the CSP Wolfpack football page the next day after the game. They put in a graphic for us. Kick is going to bounce and be fielded at the 15-yard line up the middle. Again, nice blocking. Going to get all the way up to about the 42-yard line, and that's where the Herd will start their possession.
Very good return again.
And number 2, the return man, that's Dylan Newman, the senior. Makes a real nice play there, and now the Wolfpack going to send out what is a mix of the 1st and 2nd string, it looks like here. A lot of starters still in there defensively, but a couple guys getting some time that don't always. A lot of the big names still there, though. Gomez, Eining, Watson. So the linebacking core all still starters. Here's the snap. Pitch to Jones. Jones going to get around the end. He gets past a few men. He'll get tackled, but not before a first down. Big play there from number 60, Colton Hamilton. And Colton chased him down from behind. You don't see a lineman do that very often.
No, that's for sure.
Down to 6 minutes to play now here in this one. 46-22 CSP. Herd break their huddle. Parmentier under center. 3 backs in the backfield. There's the snap. He'll give it to number 24 up the middle, and another hard run for a first down for Patrick Braley. Braley brought down by a couple members of the Wolfpack there, but looks like Johnny Aber's the first man to the tackle.
Well, give the Herd credit. I mean, they're continuing to play football here, and they're not looking at the scoreboard.
Yeah, I mean, they're pounding the rock. They're mixing in some passing here and there, but not panicking. They know that they're probably not going to win this football game, but they're going to try and work some things out in the process. Parmentier, another give to the left side. And on this carry, it's going to be a gain of about 4 for Dylan Newman. Tackled there by several members of the Wolfpack, but leading the way on that one was Daniel Redlecki. So down to 5 minutes to play now. 2nd and 5 for the Herd at the CSP 28. Parmentier under center. There's the snap. Handoff up the middle to Newman. And that's going to be a gain of about 3 on the play. Check that, it was Braley, not Newman on the carry. And he's brought down in there by, looks like Redlecki and Hamilton. So big third down now for this drive for the Herd. Down to 4:30 to play. They trail 46-22. 3rd and 3. Parmentier again under center. He'll snap, fake the handoff, roll out to his left side. He'll throw behind the receiver, but it is caught. And that's going to be just shy of a first down, as Jackson Kraft fell down catching that ball, and Blake Beckrink was right there to tag him.
Yeah, he made a great adjustment to spin around because he was looking for it over his right shoulder and ended up having to come back to it.
Gets a really nice spot. Wow. I saw him fall down about 1.5 yards short of that, but a really nice spot from the officials. Keep the clock rolling. First down for the Herd. 4 minutes to play in this one. Parmentier again under center. The snap, a pitch to Newman. Newman going to get to the edge. He turns the corner. First down and more. He gets brought down over there close to the 10-yard line by the Wolfpack, but a gain of 12 for Newman. And I think they stopped the clock. I don't know if he got out of bounds or if they're just waiting for the chain gang to get where they belong. Officials say roll the clock. 3:50 to play. First and 10 now at the 12-yard line. Parmentier under center again, 2 backs behind him. And they'll give it up the middle to number 24, Patrick Braley, and he runs over a few guys before Gavin Burchanowski can make the tackle. And it's going to be very close to another first down for the Herd.
Yeah, that was a nice hard run right there.
Braley going to get 9 on that one. 2nd and 1 for the Herd. 3 minutes now remaining in this one, 3:14 to be exact. And the ref whistle there, I'm not sure what the whistle is for. I think they're going to measure this. It's 2nd and a half yard or so. I think they're going to measure it. So they didn't care on the last first down. They gave him a real nice spot, but this one we're going to call out measure here with 3:13 to play. They pass the chains to the officials. Mark the spot, and let's stretch it out. They say it's a first down for the Herd. So 1st and goal now for the Herd. Herd hurries to the line now. Parmentier under center. The snap, quick give to the right side. Going to plunge in for the touchdown as the Herd strikes once again here late. Dylan Newman, the senior, gets in. And it's 46-28 now with 3:04 to play.
Josh, I just got a message that one of our listeners and viewers from, actually he's out in, not Girard, but what is right next to it? Lake City, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Lake City, watching the game today.
All right, well, thanks for joining us from Lake City.
Pete Foley.
And the 2-point conversion attempt, a sweep to the left side, going to get in for that 2-point conversion. Dylan Newman once again, a 16-point game now, 46-30 with 3:04 to play. Quick word from our sponsors here on the 98.9 Sports Stream.
Wolfpack football on the Channel 98.9 Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream is provided in part by Necker's Company General Store, providing Clymer with groceries, apparel, gift items, and so much more for over 100 years. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks Necker's Company General Store for their support. Support for Wolfpack football on the Channel 98.9 Sports Stream is provided by Moshers Carpeting at 8631 East Main Street in Clymer. Moshers has carpeting and all types of flooring, serving the area for over 27 years. Online at mosherscarpeting.com. The Corry Federal Credit Union is the platinum sponsor of CSP Wolfpack football play-by-play coverage on the Channel 98.9 Sports Stream. The Corry Federal Credit Union would like to wish the Wolfpack the best of luck this season. The Corry Federal Credit Union has been serving the community since 1958. They offer a wide range of financial and banking services for you and your business. The Corry Federal Credit Union is located at 728 Worth Street in Corry, 56 North Main Street in Union City, 315 Main Street in Spartansburg, and online at corryfcu.org. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks the Corry Federal Credit Union, a not-for-profit organization, for their support of CSP Wolfpack football play-by-play.
We welcome you back in here. 3:04 to play. 46-30 CSP leads. The Herd, though, not going away. They keep scoring here late, and they've managed to put 30 on the board against this very good CSP defense. And they're ready to kick this thing off here with 3:04 remaining. Here comes the kick, and it will be a regular kickoff. Going to be fielded by Pearsons. He'll get back to the 25 to the 30. O'Neal there at the 26-yard line. Interesting decision there. He acted like he was going to take off with it and then just said, no, I'll just take a knee.
Right.
3 minutes to play. And we'll see what we see come out on the field here for the Wolfpack. Looks like
some
starters.
different jerseys.
Yeah.
Or is that?
Oh, there's some starters coming off the field now. So, yes, you're right. Some different jerseys.
Carson White, though, going back out to quarterback.
So some changes at the offensive line, it looks like. Mason Weber coming out on the field right now. Here comes Brian Gomez, though. So a mix of starters and backups. Weber, a starting lineman. It looks like they're going to have Beckrink in the backfield. White in the shotgun. Beckrink next to him on the left. A pitch to Beckrink. He's going to get caught in the backfield immediately and brought down. And the Herd were all over that one.
Yeah, nobody got fooled there, did they?
Going to be a loss of about 7 on the play. Tough break there for Beckrink. He had nowhere to go. 2nd and 16 is what we'll call it. Clock rolling, though. Down to 2:30 to play. Wolfpack really pretty much just got to, as long as Cassadaga Valley, Maple Grove, Falconer do not call a timeout here, they can pretty much run this thing out. Pretty close. Pack to the line. 3 wide to the left. Beckrink in the backfield next to White. There's the snap. Give to Beckrink up the middle. He breaks one tackle, drags a man forward. He's going to get about 3 on the play, and that'll bring up 3rd and 12 for the Wolfpack. Timeout, Herd. And so they are going to start using their timeouts here. 3rd and 12. 2:02 to play. 16-point game. Quick word from our sponsor here in the 98.9 Sports Stream.
Corry's only locally operated radio station is Channel 98.9. With your eerie weather, your favorite personalities.
Thank you so much for joining us on a Monday.
You see today local news, entertainment, and information around the clock. And Corry's modern rock. Channel 98.9, your one radio station.
Wolfpack football on the Channel 98.9 Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream is provided in part by Countertop Solutions, a proud supporter of Wolfpack athletics. Countertop Solutions wishes the Wolfpack luck in their pursuit of excellence on the field.
And welcome back in here to the final 2 minutes of this one. Wolfpack lead 46-30, but it is 3rd and 11. And the Herd used their first time out there to stop the clock at 2:02. Wolfpack offense. Do you think they're going to throw the ball here? They put Whitney back in the game. Whitney was off the last two plays. 3 wide to the right. White takes a look at the scoreboard. Snap gives to Whitney. Whitney up the middle. He'll get collared and brought down after a gain of about 5.
He still kept those feet moving, and he drugged like 3 guys with him.
He had a defensive tackle on his back. 1:53 to play. Timeout for the Herd, and it's 4th and 5 for the Wolfpack at the 32-yard line. So now we get to see if Michael Horton can put together a nice punt here. Had an up and down day kicking the ball, missed some extra points early. He's made some late. Had the kick return against him for a touchdown, but he also had a couple really nice kickoffs as well.
Right. Be nice to see him kick one really high and get a good bounce, and take a few more ticks off that clock and put the Herd down on the far side of the field with a long field to go.
Horton leads the pack back out on the field. Here come the Herd. Deep for them. Going to be Jackson. Oh, it's going to be Colin Matson. Matson awaits the punt from Horton. They get an encroachment call.
Yeah.
This is the second time today that the Herd encroached on a punt. That's not going to be enough to give the Wolfpack a first down, though. I think they're going to be just a little bit short of a first down. It's not 4th and 5. It's 4th and 5 plus a little bit. Let's see how they step this off. This is a big spot for the referees. They can't screw this up.
That looks real close.
It is. I think they have to measure that. I'll tell you what. Run that quarterback sneak now. Yeah, they're going to measure it. If it's that close, if it's a quarter of a yard away, line up and let Carson White get you that first down, put this game away, then kneel it down a few times and go home.
Right. Well, I got to tell you, this is in all the football I've watched in the last 5 years. I can count on one hand how many times I saw a chain gang come out and measure the ball.
Twice in the last 3 minutes here. We'll wait for them to get out there and see what the measurement looks like. About 4 inches short, according to the official. Yeah, I think that's a quarterback sneak situation, in my opinion. We'll see what Coach Bodemer dials up and Coach White over here. Greg White talking to his offense. And looks like Horton going to lead him back out. But White also out there. This is interesting.
This is interesting.
So White going to come back out, the offense back on the field. Horton going back the other way now. And who's the tailback here? Is it Whitney? Yes, it is. White going to be under center as I expected. This is going to be a battle of lines right here. And a timeout. Well, they send out Gomez. Wolfpack running out of time here. They're going to get a delay a game if they're not careful. White now under center. There's the snap, the quarterback sneak, and he plunges forward for a Wolfpack first down. You talk about a battle of the offensive line. Those boys went out there and earned that one.
For sure.
Clock ticks down to 1:47 to play as the chain gang gets reset before the clock will run some more. And that first down will seal the deal. The Wolfpack, they had a much bigger lead. They're only going to win this one by 16, but looked really great offensively. Their defense saw some things late that they're going to have to work on.
Right. Yep, they'll have a few things to brush up on, especially with a tough opponent like Salamanca coming up.
Let's do player of the game. Flicks Heating, Daniels Electric, player of the game. It's been a tough one. What do you think? I think we have to give it to Cameron, I think.
I'm with you all the way. I think Cameron was the shining spot a little bit more than anyone else out there today.
Whitney on the carry to the right side. Short gain on the play, gain of about 3 as we click under a minute to play. And yeah, Cam Meinink, that pick 6. He's had some great receptions today. Was really great defensively. Just made some big plays throughout the game. And he'll be our Flicks Heating Daniels Electric player of the game. Congratulations to him. He certainly earned it. And looking forward to see who else gets to be a player of the game as the year goes on as we continue this season here for CSP. 2 different guys so far. We'll see if we get a third winner next week.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. And it's nice. You have a good football team when you get multiple
victory formation for the Wolfpack. Carson White takes a knee, and that's going to do it here from Sherman. The Wolfpack win 46-30, move to 2-0. They join Chautauqua Lake, Salamanca, and Southwestern Frewsburg atop Class C North. And now everything leads to these 2 big matchups the next 2 weeks. Salamanca on Friday at 7, and then the weekend after against the Chautauqua Lake Westfield Brockton Eagles team. So 2 big weeks coming up. We're looking forward to seeing you all there. If you can't make it to the game, join us on the 98.9 Sports Stream. Brad, I want to thank you for joining us. It's been a pleasure to work with you the last couple weeks. Hopefully it's not the end of it for us. We get another chance to work together before the season's over.
Yeah, it'd be fun. I enjoyed it, and thanks for having me. And our final score, 46-30.
Yeah, we want to say, appreciate you supporting the CSP program and everything going on for the fans over here. And from the CSP group to the Corry group, best of luck on the rest of the season for the Beavers. And I hope that they make a nice run in the playoffs.
All right. Yeah, thank you. Hopefully both teams do well.
All right. We're going to wrap it up here for the 98.9 Sports Stream. Congratulations to the Wolfpack. They're 2-0. We'll see you next Friday night in Salamanca.
Thanks for listening to this broadcast